Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punching? When I was hitting him with body punching, I heard him actually he was crying there. You were saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on?
BoxingVoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was cuffing and taking those punches.
Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ.
It's the champ. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with another edition of Thursday's previews and predictions. We're going to be bringing you news, rumors, and headlines as well on this show. And we have two panelists with us today. So let's head on out. Well, actually, let me tell you what this is all about. I mean, obviously, we're going to be talking welterweight action. We got Keith one-time Thurman calling out Manny Pacquiao, but Manny Pacquiao is said to be scheduled to be fighting Jeff Horn. Is that a duck or not? I mean, you got two titles on the line. Pacquiao puts his on there. We're talking about a unification with 3 belts on the line. So why in the hell fight Jeff Horn?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Exactly. So we're going to head on over to the Sunshine State so we can get our co-host's opinion on all this and then go back to the callers. BoxingMD, what's going on, brother? I know you want to sit in on this. We're going to head on over to the Sunshine State. BoxingMD, what's going on?
Is that a fair statement to make? You have to be honest with yourself.
Well, Ness immediately asked the question, is it a duck? I don't know if it's a duck because the definition of duck is so, I guess, ambiguous, but it's fair to say that if you want to call Manny Pacquiao after Floyd Mayweather, you could nickname him instead of if you go to Wikipedia, right, all of his nicknames you have Pac-Man, the Destroyer, the Executioner, the Filipino Slugger, the Nation's First. Now, this stage of his career, you could call him Money Pacquiao because this fight is for money only, right? And it's just disappointing because I hate this point in the fight because when you do great things, like Miguel Cotto, who did great things before he became clearly only about money, it just is unfortunate because that belt shouldn't be paraded around the world getting shots at Jeff Horn. Now, having said that, Manny Pacquiao is coming off a fight that a lot of people think is a reasonably tough fight, that is in Jesse Vargas. So if we go by my standard 1-1, if this is his 1-1, then we have to be okay with it. But it'll be interesting to hear what you guys have to say.
In the Golden State.
ThaBoxingvoice production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
BoxingVoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes, Money Manny Pacquiao, as MD calls him. I thought that was pretty good. I think it's just one of those things where Pacquiao is in a weird stage of his career where I think most of us agree that he is definitely past his prime, but he still has some level of skill and greatness and durability left in him that we expect big fights from him still. You know, we aren't calling him to retire like a Roy Jones Jr. You know, we aren't seeing his face get brutalized every fight like a Francisco Vargas. You know, Manny Pacquiao still can do great things. He can still solidify his legacy even more so than it already is. And a win against Keith Thurman would be massive for his legacy. He just would. He would take on that next generation when guys like Floyd Mayweather didn't. That means something for the boxing public. And now we're hearing news that July 2nd, it's almost going to be finalized for him against Jeff Horn. And this news came out after the Keith Thurman call out on social media. There's just a lot of things about this that it smells like a duck over here, but it's just weird. I don't know what to say of Manny Pacquiao. He's a legend. I don't want to disrespect the name, but you're not fighting the best. Jeff Horn's a shit fight. Don't fight Jeff Horn. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, and I will say one thing, because Matt did hit it on the head right there, and we'll I guess go on to the details. That it is because Manny Pacquiao, in my opinion, too, could beat and be competitive with the top welterweights. I mean, can you imagine if Manny Pacquiao, like you said, was to defeat Keith Thurman and someone like Terence Crawford? I know this is crazy to say, but like considering Floyd never fights again, despite him losing to Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao may go down as a better fighter overall if that is the case. Now, don't call me a pack card for saying that. I just proposed that scenario. But just think long and hard before your emotions get to it, right? If you put the beginning of his career and if you consider what he can do, like hypothetically, and it's a tall order to beat Keith Thurman and Terence Crawford. But those are fights that they could be made, especially the Terence Crawford fight. And like I said, this will show that even at his aging explosiveness and whatever you call Manny Pacquiao, he still is one of the best fighters to ever step into the square circle.
Look, man, Pacquiao. I just want to say, first and foremost, there's going to be a lot of people to call in and defend him. A lot of people to say we're crazy, use very horrible names in the chat, or should I say comments. But the truth is this. We have the current WBC and WBA champion. He's not a paper champion. He's a proven champion. He's a legitimate threat. We've given Manny Pacquiao and, Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez and Cotto and guys on that level passes in the past before, simply because the person calling them out didn't merit it. So it's different when hypothetically Jesse Vargas is calling you out, or a Saddam Ali, or a Sean Porter, that's different. Or even a Kell Brook with one title coming off of a loss from Gennady Golovkin. It's different than Keith Thurman, who last 3 fights are what? Luis Collazo,
Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia.
Exactly. He's not asking for an in-between fight. He's not saying, let me get a soft touch and then Pacquiao. He wants to be great. So before people call in or before people start commenting, let's just think about that. It is absolutely, in my mind, a duck. Money cannot supersede unifications. This would be 3 titles. There's unless I would love to hear actually a legitimate reason why he shouldn't fight Keith Thurman. And then that is the only way that I would say, okay, he's not ducking. But I really can't fathom a legitimate reason as to why not unify and have 3 titles on the line. No. And Thurman has been in front of enough millions and millions of people that even if Bob Arum says, fine, we'll do it, Al Heyman, but he has to do it on pay-per-view. Maybe Thurman, who already said he doesn't want to fight on pay-per-view, maybe he'd be willing to do it simply because he feels he'll win and he'll get all 3 titles and it would be glory. But I don't see a legitimate reason why not to entertain his call out. You have to entertain it. You have to at least put in a call, make some sort of attempt at negotiation. You have to.
And I also want to add to that, this is a change of tune for Keith Thurman. Usually he has been one to really talk about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, saying that those guys are past their prime, like he wants to go after the sharks of his generation. So this is a change of tune. So it is interesting to, I wish we can, talk to Keith Thurman right now and go, why you're now calling out Manny Pacquiao. I remember us being in the gym with him before his fight with Danny Garcia, and he didn't really want to talk about Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather. Those were guys that weren't on his radar. Now one of them is. That's just interesting to me.
Because I think that Keith Thurman is a smart guy and he's cerebral, and I don't think that he wants to seem desperate, right? Like the second a guy makes a big win, it used to be always Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo, or, guys like that. And we used to say, come on, man, like you haven't done enough. You haven't done enough. Now Keith Thurman has done enough, so he's in a different position. So I understand the attitude change. Now, I said this originally. I thought that Amir Khan, right? We were assuming that Amir Khan was potentially going to get the shot against Pacquiao in Dubai and blah, 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 all this other bullshit. And my original reaction is, that's fucking bullshit, right? It's bullshit. Because what the fuck has Amir Khan done to earn a shot at Manny Pacquiao, right? So I could say the same thing with Jeff Horn. Now, if you're going by these standards, right, you just have to be consistent, because in a sport that the best should fight the best, yes, that is something that should be. There's no, I mean, there literally is no excuse other than business and money, which is the same thing. So that's it. That's the only excuse. So there's not a legitimate excuse when it comes to the sporting aspect. In other words, right? If you have the number 2 or number 3 guy in a division calling out the number 1, 2, or 3 guy, and they don't have fights yet, now they have a fight, there's no reason why they shouldn't fight. But this is boxing, right? So we have to take that, before we all get angry at Manny Pacquiao and feel bad for Keith Thurman, which I do. We just have to understand that this happens all the fucking time.
Yeah. I'm not really sure I understand what's the point you're trying to make. This doesn't happen all the time. It's not every day that a unified welterweight champion gets ducked.
Okay, maybe not in the welterweight division, but it happens in plenty of divisions, does it not?
Okay, well, show me another. Okay, you're gonna say the obvious one is obviously Triple G.
There's other ones. I think that Jezreel Corrales ducked Vasyl Lomachenko. That's another one, right? I'm pretty sure that who else ducked? There's other guys.
How did Corrales duck Lomachenko?
He turned down the fight offer, but he doesn't even have another. Oh, he actually does have another belt. No, he turned down.
He fought Yukiyama.
No, but he turned down the fight. They offered a fight against Lomachenko, and he turned it down. Ness, can you correct me on that? Can you back me up on that, Ness?
I do recall us talking about something like that, but
yes. So I mean, Ness, my point is, there's other examples, right?
Hold on, let me just introduce someone that to have the answer, and we haven't heard from in a while, and that's usually why we give him this intro.
There'll be nothing but smooth sailing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Boxing Voice? Good to hear you guys, man. Man, I missed you guys. My family. I'm glad to be back where I belong. MD, what did you want me to look up, brother? Tell me the names. I'll find it for you right now.
It's all good. It's the fact that Jezreel Corrales ducked Vasyl Lomachenko or turned down an offer, in other words, because he has a belt and Lomachenko has a belt. In other words, that's what I'm saying. Like, it happens sometimes in sports where 2 guys have belts and one guy chooses not to fight another guy because of whatever reason it is. So the point I'm just trying to make, Ness, is it stings more because I personally like Keith Thurman. I'm a big fan of Keith Thurman. I don't like what Manny Pacquiao is doing, and it's being magnified because it is in the glamour division, and Manny Pacquiao is fighting Jeff Horn. But I'm going to be honest, right? I'm actually happy that Jeff Horn got the shot, not Amir Khan, because Amir Khan doesn't deserve a goddamn thing, right? So at least Jeff Horn, I mean, listen, I'm really happy that Amir Khan didn't dare to be great, and the fights are always there for him, right? It's really bullshit. And I'm glad that at least Amir Khan didn't get the fight. So that's the silver lining in my book. Because I guess Jeff Horn, right, just like Francisco Vargas, Raul Salka, doesn't he have a shot to get great? Jared Washington, doesn't he have a shot at greatness, Ness?
I know I've been talking about the Mayweather fight, the Pacquiao fight, which I think are there still for me.
Those fights will always be there for Khan, all right? Don't hate on Khan. But hate on Pacquiao. I don't know why the All-American host is taking Pacquiao's side here.
When did I take Manny Pacquiao's side?
I mean, I don't think
just because I'm not crying and screaming and kicking. Listen, it's bullshit. I prefaced this statement saying that Keith Thurman deserved it more than Amir Khan. So obviously he deserves it more than Jeff Horn.
All right, check this out. Trying to equate Thurman to Jezreel Corrales is just a bad one. But let's just talk styles, right? Let's talk matchup. How would this fight be, right? Because Thurman, we always give Thurman the edge in his fights because we feel like he's the faster guy. But is he really the faster guy, or is he or would he not be the faster person this time around because we're so used to Manny Pacquiao being fast, right? Like, really, that's what Thurman's advantage is, his footwork and his speed. But now versus Pacquiao, is Pacquiao fading in your opinion? Or, does he still have that speed that we're used to?
I think that he maybe his speed and his explosiveness is fading. But I'll tell you what's not fading is his timing. The way that he gets in and out and picks his shots and gets hit a lot less. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure that the Marquez fight had an effect on him. Anybody getting knocked out that way, you have to change your style a little bit. I mean, he went for broke in that Marquez fight, where he was in control of that fight, hurting Marquez, breaking his nose, and he overextended himself. But I still think that he would give Keith Thurman a very good fight. And I don't know who I pick in that fight, to be honest, because the way Keith Thurman comes in is pretty wide, right? With the looping left hook and the right straight. And Manny Pacquiao, who has much shorter arms, who comes in straighter and comes in with the angles, may give Keith Thurman problems. Now, I'm not saying I'd favor Manny Pacquiao or Keith Thurman at this point. I would have to think about it more, but I think it's a very competitive matchup. I don't think it's as a foregone conclusion, just because Manny Pacquiao, I think, is fighting smarter. So I think that it'd be a very, very, very interesting chess match of extremely talented and technically proficient fighters, because Pacquiao, regardless of all the criticism, is a technically proficient fighter. Not as technical as Floyd, obviously, but he is very technical the way he attacks.
It's going to come down to the timing. Is Pacquiao's speed going to offset Thurman? Because I would be favoring Thurman. I know you spoke about Pacquiao being able to land shots because Thurman is a little wide. You're right about that, but Pacquiao hasn't knocked anybody out in wow. When? What's this here? What is this?
You could say the same thing about Keith Thurman, though. No. We can't say the same thing. He hasn't knocked out anybody since 2009. Thurman, on the other hand, has less time since he scored a knockout, but at least we still see physical damage when he lands blows on. But Ness.
And he's landing blows on elite level fighters.
But we have to be honest, right? We have to be honest, right? We're talking about Margarito, Shane Mosley, Marquez, Tim Bradley, Marquez, Brandon Rios, Tim Bradley. Yes, Chris Algieri is the one black eye that you could criticize him for. But besides Chris Algieri, then you have Floyd Mayweather, Tim Bradley, Jesse Vargas.
What are you bringing up resume? Why? I don't understand. I thought we were talking knockout power.
Yeah, we're talking about one Hall of Famer in Margarito, potentially a Hall of Famer. Sugar Shane Mosley, first ballot Hall of Famer. Marquez, first ballot Hall of Famer. Tim Bradley, first ballot Hall of Famer.
You're talking about a Pacquiao from a couple of years ago, 5 years ago. We're talking about Manny Pacquiao today, who is 38 years old.
We're going back to why he hasn't knocked dudes out, right? To why he hasn't knocked his opponents out. Tim Bradley couldn't drop Jesse Vargas. Manny Pacquiao did. So it's not like his power is not there with the timing. It's when your level of competition becomes at this level, and Manny Pacquiao has consistently fought guys at the highest level, other than Chris Algieri, other than Jeff Horn, he hasn't been able to finish them, because nobody's been able to finish these guys, really, pretty much. And also, I do believe that Manny Pacquiao, and I know you could definitely call me a fanboy, and I'm not really the biggest Manny Pacquiao fan, but I see this when I watch boxing, that I feel like he does take something off when he's beating a guy. He doesn't take the risks like he used to, whether that's because he's kinder in his new Christian ways, or he just doesn't want to take a risk. I mean, he was in second gear the whole night in Jesse Vargas, and I believe the old Manny Pacquiao would be able to stop Jesse Vargas, and he still has that in him. I just don't think he chooses to fight that way.
I hear what you're saying. Level of opposition is the reason that the knockouts aren't there, and that's the same argument that one can make for Keith Thurman. As his level of opposition stepped up, those knockouts disappeared. I still think that this is a great fight. It's the perfect time for Keith Thurman. It's a way to, snatch the torch, since neither Mayweather or Pacquiao are passing it. This is a perfect fight, and it's a clear duck. I don't see the argument.
You say it's a perfect fight, Ness, but you're assuming, like, okay, I hear you, but just hear me out for a second. It's the perfect fight for fight fans. But just from the aspect of Keith Thurman, let's hypothetically say, right, that Keith Thurman loses to Manny Pacquiao. I think that we'll forget about Keith Thurman, because Manny Pacquiao, again, will overshadow him. So I hear what you're saying, but you have to see both sides of it, I think. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. No one forgot about Jesse Vargas, Brandon Rios.
Yes, they did.
Bradley. No way. No way.
We forgot about them all. Yes, we have, Ness.
No. Chris Algieri didn't get forgotten. No. Marquez didn't get forgotten. Mosley. No.
Well, but they're different. They're in different. Marquez isn't it? Marquez and Mosley are different. Are in different leagues because they did great things. Because they did great things at lower weight divisions and moved up, and then lost to Manny Pacquiao and lost before. But There are different scenarios where Keith Thurman is a welterweight and has always been a welterweight and continues to want to be a welterweight. So I think that if after winning these belts, he fights next Manny Pacquiao and loses or gets outclassed, I think it'll be an hindrance of his career. Now, having said that, he still should get the shot. I'm just saying, to play devil's advocate, it's not necessarily a win-win for Keith Thurman, I think. That's what the only thing I'm saying.
Man, listen, Keith has gone on the record since he was 17-0 to say, I got to know that I'm not afraid to let it go. You could beat me, beat me. You know, how much more timing you want? Pacquiao's 38. When is he going to get him? When is it going to be better? Pacquiao has one title. He has two. It's not going to get any better than this. Are the Pacquiao fucking fans going to call in and say, oh, no, Ness, let Pacquiao go fight Kell Brook and get that title from Earl Spence and Kell Brook first so it could be a unification? This is the perfect time. The other title is tied up with Kell Brook. 3 titles are available, and you choose to fight someone that no one, you and I have never seen Jeff Horn fight, and we do a show every fucking day. You know, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's a duck to me. I mean, you know, whatever. Yeah. I guess we move on to the second topic of today, which is Jeff Horn versus Pacquiao, all but being, I don't know, solidified, right? According to multiple sources, Pacquiao chose to fight Jeff Horn again.
I just want to know if it's going to be on pay-per-view, because that'd be really interesting.
What I don't understand is, how could they continue to toy with us? How many times have we announced that Jeff Horn was getting a fight, then he's not getting a fight? 5 weeks ago on Pacquiao's personal Instagram and Twitter, he says himself, we're deep in negotiations with Amir Khan, posts a picture of the both of them. Now that's off the table again. And we're back with Jeff Horn. I mean, I don't understand, like, this game that they have going on. I seen headlines yesterday that Bob Arum is saying he's given Manny Pacquiao a deadline. I mean, who's to blame here, Matt? And, you know, what is your opinion on this whole Thurman Pacquiao situation? And obviously now we've moved on to, you know, your boy Jeff Horn actually getting the fight again for like the 3rd time. We're announcing he's getting the fight.
Do not say he's my boy.
Are you cheating on Felix Diaz?
No, I'm not cheating on Felix Diaz. Don't worry, Felix. I got you still, okay? That's Mickey's boy, okay, it's Jeff Horn. I don't rep the Australian flag, but I don't know who's to blame, to be honest. Is it Bob Arum? Is it Michael Kuntz? Is it Manny Pacquiao? You know, I don't blame Jeff Horn for this because he's the young up-and-comer that wants to get a shot at glory. You can never blame a guy like that. I don't necessarily blame guys like Keith Thurman or Kell Brook or Earl Spence that are more deserving of the fight not getting the fight. It's not up to them. It's up to Manny Pacquiao and his team and his promoter. But I do think some of the blame has to lie on either or both of Bob Arum and Michael Kuntz. Those are the guys that for the entirety of Manny Pacquiao's career have controlled his career. And they've been very active in controlling that career. So we got to ask those guys these questions about why Jeff Horn? Why you're not going after glory one more time, doing one last run of it and proving yourself? Because like MD said, if he did go out there and beat a Keith Thurman and a Terence Crawford, guys like that, he would add so much more to his legacy that some people, not all, but some people would say he's better than Mayweather.
Matt, and you tell me, at this day and age, the way that there's so much media, if Pacquiao decides to fight a guy as good in his prime as Keith Thurman, he'll be on First Take. He'll be on Sports Center. Everywhere they will be talking about. This is not just Pacquiao versus Vargas. It's different. This could be big too. This could do what? Listen, if Cotto Mayweather did 1.5, right? It was because people thought at that time Mayweather had a chance of losing. Cotto was a pretty big boy. And look how that fight turned out. He drew blood, everything. You know, some people were crazy enough to think Cotto did win. You know, Cotto left the ring and everything. He always leaving the ring. But the point is, when the opposition is threatened, the pay-per-views go up. Give me a buy count.
I think it is bigger than Canelo Chavez.
What? Jeff Horn?
No. Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao.
But give me a number. Give me a number. Just saying bigger.
Fuck yeah. You don't understand. Like, there are, like we just discussed this. A number?
Yeah, a number.
$1 million?
I don't think it does a million, but it does just below that. It does
800. Yeah. Okay. You're right.
Damn,
800.
I'm such a casual optimist. Yo, my number, my secret number that I told myself was 1.5.
Cotto Canelo didn't do a million. It did like 950, 900,000.
Pacquiao was bigger than all of them.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying because Cotto Mayweather did 1.5, I said for sure this is an I mean, I really want this fight.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, Manny Pacquiao still has fans. He does a lot of fans because this is why he has an opportunity. But I just want to go and this is the thing. Like again, I just one second. I want you to name one other fighter that you ever remember, right? And this is the problem I have sometimes when we look at Manny Pacquiao and Bob Arum's handling. Right now, we could blame Bob Arum. It's fine. What other fighter has beaten 10 Hall of Famers? He literally has beaten 10 first ballot Hall of Famers, right? Go always list by list, and you could say Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather is arguably in some people is the best of all time. So I don't think that we should just blame Bob Arum for Manny Pacquiao's career, because a guy who came from the Philippines became the #2 star in boxing, maybe a top 5 star in boxing history, right? So it's crazy.
News, bro. What have you done for me lately? Jesse fucking Vargas, man. Get out of here, man. You singing.
What did it do? 350,000 pay-per-view on ESPN, right?
I don't know.
Not terrible numbers based on the market, right?
Pay-per-view, not an ESPN pay-per-view.
Not even ESPN. You're right. Yeah.
You're still singing the same tune, bro. Like you're talking about what he done in yesteryear. We're talking about right now. Guys are sitting here saying that I gave Danny a fucking pat. Listen, that was 1 belt. This is 3. This is a shot at 3. Like fighters, you know how hard it is to fucking unify? Like I can't believe people are thinking it's okay. Whatever. Let's just move on to Jeff Horn now, because this is obviously what you're okay with. You'd rather not fight Thurman or burn down the house because he's not fighting Thurman. It's okay for us to talk about fucking Jeff Horn, who is getting the fight.
No, the only reason I'm okay with this fight is because Amir Khan's not getting this fight. That's it. It's a shitty fight.
MD, I just want to say that wasn't personally to you. That's just in general to the public, to the viewers. I understand when I wake up tomorrow and read the comments, people are going to be saying, Ness, you're disrespectful. He's a Hall of Famer. He's fought. Well, how many people have fought this man? I don't care. What we have here is an opportunity to unify. Something that's very hard to do in any division. That's why we're happy that Joshua is unifying with Vitaly Klitschko for that WBA vacant. That's why we were happy when Danny and Thurman did it. We're always happy. Unifications take precedence. And for anyone to say, oh, he's a legend, it's okay to fight Jeff Horn, man, get the hell out of here, bro. You're not even a boxing fan, bro. You're not a boxing fan. But Jeff Horn, right? So I don't know. I never watched him, so I have nothing to say about Jeff Horn until we actually see him fight.
He's young, unproven. He has very little names on his resume. But like I said, Ness, let's just say Manny Pacquiao has his Jeff Horn, and then he fights somebody more tough, whether it's a Crawford or Thurman later in the year. Is it still a duck? Because you're okay with certain fighters getting soft touches before big fights, right? So based on your logic, right? How is this?
Vargas is a soft touch. You know it, and I know it. We weren't happy when Pacquiao fought him.
I agree, because Manny Pacquiao is so good that it's a soft touch for him.
We were only happy because.
But is Jesse Vargas a soft touch for? Would Jesse Vargas be a soft touch for Danny Garcia? Honestly,
no. But
okay, that's the.
Danny and Manny are on 2 different levels. That's why you would expect Manny to want to unify.
I mean, I get it, and we hold. That's fair, because we hold Manny Pacquiao to a higher standard. And of course, this fight's a shit fight. It's a terrible fight. But let's not pretend, again, that to some degree, they didn't offer the fight to Terence Crawford. To some degree, right? Now, it could be a bullshit offer, or it could have been a fake offer. Who the fuck knows? But it wasn't like Jeff Horn was the only option they were looking for Manny Pacquiao. And then you could look back and forth. Pacquiao has tax issues. Pacquiao has a big entourage. He wants to feed the people in the Philippines. So obviously, they're both trying to maximize each other's money. So it is important to note that Bob Arum did say that he's lost money on a lot of Manny Pacquiao fights. So maybe this is not the best relationship between promoter and fighter. And this is why we have Jeff Horn. But it's a very complicated situation with Manny Pacquiao. And unfortunately, yes, it does end up with a fight that means nothing for his career. And it should not be like, and you want to do pay-per-view estimations for this? Worse than Jesse Vargas, that's for sure.
All right. I mean, look, Steven.
Yo, I'm really curious. If he was guaranteed to fight Terence Crawford in November, would that make it easier for you to take this fight, Ness?
I mean, yo, Terence.
I'll say yes.
Yeah, you'll say yes because you're a hipster.
I like Terence Crawford.
And you would be all technical, like, oh, well, technically Manny Pacquiao is a small welterweight, so it's better for him to go to 140. But no, that would still be a duck because you're going a division below. This is an opportunity to unify. But, Steven, what I would like you to do is tell me how many of the last Mayweather fights, starting from Berto down, because I know he didn't have a title, but I want to know how many of those fights were not title fights. Were not title fights. Like him.
You mean like throughout the last, decade?
Whatever. Check his last fights and see which one of those was him.
This is a title fight, though, right?
Yeah, that's Pacquiao defending his title. I want to know how many times did Mayweather
like unifications or title fights?
Yeah, try to get a unification, like, because I know his with Mosley was one, even though he dropped the WBA after. You know, there was always a title on the line, is what I remember.
Yeah, what's crazy is that on his BoxRec record, it says his fight with Shane Mosley actually wasn't for a title. His first fight for a title after his, like, quote unquote retirement in 07 was against Victor Ortiz. And then his first unification was against Maidana at junior middleweight. And then his first unification at welterweight came against Maidana because Maidana had the WBA.
That's what I'm saying. There's a clear track record here. Like, Victor had a title. Now, you can say whatever you want about the champions that he fought, but he still chose to have a title of his own and then unify, right? So, like, I'm just saying, Jeff Horn don't really have much of anything. But Terence Crawford, Hipster, what are we here discussing that the fight went from Prudential to New York City? Why did Terence Crawford versus Felix Diaz, which is a good fight, why they go from New Jersey to New York? What happened?
I don't think there's ever like an official reason given out.
I don't even understand why it's in New York. Like, Felix Diaz doesn't have a backing. Why is this not back in, Nebraska?
I think that if you want Terence Crawford to grow as a star, keeping him in Nebraska is not going to do that. You're not going to make him a bigger star, make him in the media market of Nebraska, of Omaha, Nebraska. That's not going to happen. You got to put him in places like New York or LA. And yes, Steven?
Do you think he's tapped out that market? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think, he can't get any bigger just staying in Nebraska or Omaha. I think he is a little bit more East Coast and West Coast in terms of how he just acts and how he portrays himself. So I think New York is a very logical place to put him.
Wait a minute. How does he portray himself, Matt? Let's clarify this one.
Wait. But let's just back up a step. Anthony Joshua's never left his hometown, right?
Well, that's the UK. The UK market is significantly bigger than Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Look at London.
Zab Judah never needs to leave Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just don't understand why. MD, explain to me, why can't you grow as a star? All right,
have you been to Omaha, Nebraska, Ness?
Wait, no. I'm gonna make this one tough for you. I'm gonna make it tough for you to give me a good answer with no bias. Why is it difficult for Andre Ward to grow as a superstar if he has nothing but hometown Oakland fights? Why is that bad? Like, if a fighter can sell 15, 18, 20, whatever the number is, whatever that number is that he sells, it's considered a good number to the promoter. Why not keep doing it there? Just bring the cameras.
You want a geography/culture answer, because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get that Omaha, Nebraska is by no means financially as affluent as the fucking Bay Area, Ness. Are you on drugs? Have you been to the Bay Area, Ness? Like, I know Oakland is not the wealthiest areas, but it's a short drive from the Bay Area, San Francisco, Berkeley, south of that. I know Marin County is some of the richest place in the entire world. Silicon Valley. San Francisco per square foot is even more than New York City in some areas. So Omaha, Nebraska is a good place to start a fighter, but it doesn't have who the fuck is going to fly into Omaha, make a weekend out of it, and do what, Nestor? I'm sorry. It's good for him having hometown fights. Even St. Pete, there's more to do, and it's a bigger market, and it's a bigger city. Tampa, St. Pete. And think about how hard it is to get people to come in there to see a fight. So again, Ness, Andre Ward have been critical of that, but to compare the Bay Area market to the market of Omaha, Nebraska, I think is a little.
I wasn't trying to compare it. I was basically asking you, why can't a person who sells tickets in their home remain at home, bring the cameras to him? But before you go back to that,
because not all homes are created equal as far as markets go. That's the short answer. That's
even
it.
when Mayweather fought Angel Manfredi, wasn't that in Angel Manfredi's hometown for Angel Manfredi's title? So big fights can happen in someone's hometown. I mean, right? I mean,
that
just
was also before he was money.
That was in that was in Miami. That was in Miami.
And then Floyd Mayweather's home, which actually is his home, is Vegas, which is one of the bigger fight markets.
No, but we didn't. That fight didn't happen in Vegas. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you that the A-side fighter was Manfredi at the time. Mayweather went to Manfredi to get the title.
Well, again, that was before he was money made. That was before the Oscar De La Hoya fight. That was before he became the pay-per-view star. That was before the Baltimore fight, the Gotti.
Ness, I think the proper question for you to ask, 1 second.
Mayweather, don't get right. What I'm trying to show you is that an A-side can be a big fight in his hometown.
Okay, so Ness, the proper question, because I think we answered the question. What Matt did make a good point, was did he maximize, or has he hit the ceiling in Omaha? And I think he maybe has come close. But are you really asking the question? And this is a legitimate question: is this fight small enough to have in Omaha, Nebraska? Is that what you're asking?
I just think it's gonna do better in Omaha than will in Madison Square Garden. I'm sorry.
Well, you also thinking about like the number of people in attendance, not necessarily the gate number. So what money they're making off the attendance. They can potentially make more money off of MSG than they can in Omaha, Nebraska, even though it may be less people, because the tickets are.
You see, but that's the problem that we have, bro. You're ripping off the boxing fans, charging these crazy numbers.
I'm not saying they're going to charge them crazy numbers, but they're going to be more.
The taxes are higher in New York City, bro. Taxes are higher, and they're not going to do the same amount of. How many does he do
like in Fancy Springs
in Nebraska? 12,000, 8 to 12,000. He does in Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to do that in New York.
They can do well. They're sizing it down to 10,000 tops, so they can do 8,000. I can see that 6,000, 8,000.
Yep. And Steven, thanks for bringing that up. Angel Manfredi versus Floyd Mayweather was in Miami, Florida. A much larger media market than Omaha, Nebraska. Come on, like I get it.
I think also like you got to consider that
you're trying to make it. I'm not comparing the states, bro. I'm just saying a hometown fighter who has a following in his home. Why can't he keep receiving hometown fights and bring the cameras to him? What the TV wants to sell is a packed house. They'll always get a packed house in Omaha, Nebraska.
No.
I think perception's a big deal of it. Perception's a big deal of it because you got to remember they're fighting at Madison Square Garden. That's the mecca of boxing. Everybody, every casual fan will recognize that. Seeing a fighter fight in Nebraska, maybe that doesn't come with it doesn't give that spice to them. It doesn't give them that perception of being a fighter that's taken really serious in his career. And you got to remember, let's see, I don't know if you guys read the quote from ESPN. I'm sure you did, but it said top-ranked President Todd DeBuff said we were in town for the Conlon fight when and they approached us. Madison Square Garden approached them and asked them why they were fighting in New York and why not in Madison Square Garden. They offered the venue to them. Would you turn it down, Madison Square Garden, for an up-and-coming fighter?
Great point.
Well, it's not. Listen, you should not turn down, and that's your opportunity to hit thumbs up, right? Because that is right there in front of you. So never turn that opportunity. Take your thumbs and point them up.
Wow, because that number that is viewing now, that number that is viewing now is disrespectful to the product. I mean, having such a low rate shows that you don't appreciate this at all. But what I do enjoy is having all of you guys on at once like this because, Steven, you changed my mind. I mean, you're right. Perception.
But you want to hear? I'm sorry to cut you off.
And also fighting in New York City for a casual fan to see Crawford in New York, which is obviously we always say, the mecca of boxing. So it means something to a fan to see a fight there or watch a fighter fight there. I understand it now. This is why it's good to have different opinions.
Well, speaking about disrespecting, can we talk about the next topic? Because he disrespects the sport of boxing left and right.
So who is Jose Miguel Cotto? Is it Jose? Who's Miguel Cotto?
Jose Cotto.
Miguel Jose? I don't know. Who's Miguel Cotto making a
his middle name is Madonna. It's Jose Madonna Cotto. It's that's how it is. It's prima donna.
Who is he fighting?
Miguel is like not his actual name?
No, his name is Miguel. Come on. Who's he fighting though, for real?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. James Kirkland?
No. I mean, look, you put this topic in here. You said he's
it's look, Miguel Cotto, for what, even though like what MD said that he disrespects the sport of boxing left and right, he's still one of the biggest names in the sport. He is still a first ballot Hall of Famer, like MD said. He is still one of the best Puerto Rican boxers of all time in terms of accolades. And
but Matt, tell me how you felt when he weighed, just these little things he did, like as a hardcore boxing fan.
I'm not supporting him.
When he weight trained Daniel Gill literally looked like an extra from Schindler's List. You know what I'm saying? So like it was not a good look.
No. I'm not saying that Miguel Cotto is somebody that I aspire or look up to or think is one of the most respectable boxers in the game, but he is still one of the biggest names. And I think, Rock Nation told him his fight is going to be June 24th, I believe. That is when his promoter wants to fight. They told his manager that, and it's going to be just finding an opponent. And I don't know if it's going to be a 147-pounder that he brings up. I know Tim Bradley hasn't bring up his name. I saw Tim Bradley.
Bro, he's been out the ring forever campaigning for a big fight, man. He's going to be.
They would give it to Tim Bradley.
For him to make weight.
Tim Bradley looks massive. When I saw him in Fantasy Springs, he cannot make 147 right now. He cannot have an 8-week camp.
He's off that vegan tip. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, no,
he looks big.
He's in North Cal, and he was a balloon.
So I could see that fight, but whatever it's going to be, I hope it's better than James Kirkland. Because
they're also still fishing. They're also fishing for a network. Like what network would want to?
They don't even have a network yet. I hope HBO continues to play hardball with Cotto. I mean, they need to approve a legitimate opponent for real. It's just time, man. It really is.
MD, your thoughts on him? Because I know you wanted to change this topic.
I mean,
he fight next.
I wasn't actually involved in that, but having said that, I mean, I thought that the Kirkland fight was bullshit just because how long he was out the ring. But like I said, like even though there's a big size difference, just because like I'm okay with if Manny Pacquiao wants to go on the Veterans Tour or Miguel Cotto wants to go on the Veterans Tour, which is to fight guys who are a little past the prime and they're not affecting the current level of boxing. I was okay with the Marquez fight, even though there's a size difference, just because neither guy I really in my mind thought would ever fight again. So if they fought each other, I mean, I'd fucking watch it, right? I would definitely watch that fight just because they are two guys who I grew up watching and liking how they fought. And I think that they're both, obviously Cotto's going to have a massive size advantage, but I don't really know what else because Cotto would get demolished against any top 154-pounder. We saw what happened to Austin Trout. I mean, that's the thing about Miguel Cotto. You can call me a hater or whatever you want to call me, but I thought that Austin Trout fight showed exactly where Miguel Cotto was outside of his weight class with a good fighter. And I think that ever since then, his career has been a mirage. Winning a welterweight, winning a middleweight belt against a one-legged fighter, knocking out a weight-trained fighter. And honestly, Canelo, when I look back on it, Canelo did not even fight Miguel Cotto that well, even though I thought that fight was a dominant performance. I mean, he should have knocked Cotto the fuck out. I mean, it was really like not a good performance with Canelo.
It was not a dominant performance.
It was disappointing. It made it look as if Cotto could compete with the top 150.
Made it look like Cotto had this Golovkin power that he was being aware of, and Cotto at that weight did not. So
I just want to say really quick, Fahim in the chat said if Pacquiao drops his belt, he doesn't care who he fights. That's a good point. He should drop the belt. He should drop the belt. He should. He shouldn't be fighting Jeff Horn for this belt.
It is weird because he doesn't need it as a promotional tip to
and Jeff
claim to be a side or even jack up a price.
It's not like he's a mandatory because they're trying to negotiate with everybody and their mother. I'm just saying, I'm sorry to go back there. It's just so frustrating that people don't see that. I don't see how this is not a clear duck, but I'm sorry. Miguel Cotto signs up to fight, James Kirkland and we go crazy, but this is okay. I don't know.
Wait, but who's the guy that we're talking about again? Tim Bradley?
Yeah, versus Cotto, maybe.
I mean, because that's the thing. Like, Tim Bradley still is a good fighter, and I think that's a much better fight than Kirkland, honestly. Just because, they're about the same size. I still think Miguel Cotto is a blown-up 140-pounder. Miguel Cotto is very short.
Yo, Bradley has been out of the ring a year, bro. A year.
Yeah, but Kirkland hasn't fought since he got knocked out by Canelo, no?
Yeah, and Kirkland also took I will say this over and over again because I watch a lot of boxing. That was one of the worst beatings I have ever seen in boxing. the beating he took from Canelo, the amount of unanswered head snapping back punches I've seen. I don't know how. I mean, I would love to look at his CAT scan because that was horrific. He should never box again.
Damn, man. He was about to come back versus Cotto.
No, he should never box again after that. That reminded me, like, in a different way of like Riddick Bowe versus Galata, that fight where you saw the weight. I mean, this is a violent sport, and once you make your money, I mean, there's only so much damages you could take to the head, and that's how I felt in that fight.
No, definitely. Listen, I just want to remind our listeners we're going to have a live guest here in about 15 minutes. We'll be having the trainer of Lamont Peterson and Anthony Peterson and Adrian Broner and just a slew of fighters. Barry Hunter, the good Barry, will be on the show with us. So if that's something you're interested in, we'll have him on around 8 o'clock. Hipster, bring us in with the Huck versus Mairis Briedis, which is an important fight because this is a WBC title fight now. This is going to be for Tony Bellew's cruiserweight title. He got demoted to emeritus status while he waits in the heavyweight realm and nurses a broken hand. Talk to us about the only fight worth watching this weekend.
Marco Huck obviously was the former cruiserweight kingpin, almost setting a cruiserweight title reign record. But he did falter. He is towards the end of his career, past his prime, but still in there. So if you haven't seen Marco Huck fight, he is I would say a very traditional boxer, epitomizes the European style in a lot of ways. Good power, good combination work. Then Mairis Briedis is somebody that a lot of hipsters have been talking about for a long time. For a while it was him, Usyk, and Gassiev were the prospects of the division, the future of the division. Usyk obviously got a belt. Gassiev obviously has a belt. And now we have Briedis finally getting his shot. So it's going to be interesting to see if these guys are going to be the next, big three of the cruiserweight division. I think that beating a guy like Marco Huck would be very impressive. Briedis is a guy that he has great counter-punching ability, good timing. Not the greatest head movement, but his ability to counter guys rushing in with a good right straight and like hurting them is pretty impressive. He's not the biggest cruiserweight. That's an issue, I think, later down the road. But Briedis, I think, has a better jab, better footwork right now. Obviously, is just a little more younger, a little more faster, a little more powerful right now. So I'm going to pick Briedis by decision. I don't think he's going to knock him out. But it's going to be a very entertaining fight. It's going to be a fight that a lot of people at the end of the year are going to be talking about as a fight of the year, in my opinion. Maybe not the casuals, but the hardcores are definitely going to be talking about it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think although they're the same age, obviously Briedis has less mileage on him. And I think that they're very similar as far as how they fight. But I think the difference is that Briedis' work is a little straighter. Like you said, I think his jab's better. I think his power's better, which is why I am favoring Briedis to actually knock out Marco Huck, because I think he's not only did his loss against Gołocki, did he not look like, the guy who was so highly touted, but I think his performances after against lesser known guys, he hasn't looked the goods anymore. So I think that it's the right time for Mairis Briedis in a division that is kind of wide open. Obviously, Usyk is going to be the guy in that division. So yeah, I definitely think it's a great fight to watch. I think both guys have power, and Briedis is this undefeated Latvian lizard. So we'll see.
Hey guys, so I have a question. So Tony Bellew is, from what some of the reports are saying, he's probably gonna stay up in the heavyweight division. How do you think Tony Bellew, being the biggest name, the most popular name that the cruiserweight division had, moving up, who do you think is gonna be left to kind of take on that mantle? Do you think if Briedis beats Huck, he'll have the bigger name on his resume, and that would make him top dog, and then the other guys would come to him at the table for negotiations for a unification?
No, because Usyk beat Gołocki and Gołocki beat Huck. So Usyk technically is the guy in the division right now because he beat the guy who beat the guy, in a sense. And I would even say like Gassiev beat Lebedev, and Denis Lebedev right now probably has a little more in the tank than Marco Huck, I would say. But again, like Marco Huck, Denis Lebedev, those guys were the kingpins of the division for the longest time. So those wins by themselves equal a lot. But that Glowacki win, in the context of it, is bigger, in my opinion.
Yep. It's just unfortunate that division, that the race to make your name and move up to heavyweight, it's never been a division that people have stayed a long time. People are already asking Usyk to move up to heavyweight, which I think he'll have problems with. But I do think that I agree with what Matt said. But this has always been, and this will be, a European-centric weight division. So a lot of fights will happen in like countries like Russia, you know?
Yeah, this is going to be my first time watching Briedis. I've been hearing about him for a while, and like I always say, I ain't going to watch him till I got to watch him. Now, Huck, on the other hand, I have watched even in person quite a few times. I was at that Prudential fight, obviously, where he lost to Glowacki, and I also watched Glowacki versus...
In a fight of the year contender, to mention as well.
Sure.
Even the Gassiev-Lebedev fight was a fight of the year, too. The cruiserweight has featured amazing fights recently.
True. So, I did watch Usyk beat our good friend Glowacki. I'm not as impressed as you guys. I mean, I guess in this particular division, I can see him being the best or the top. But I don't want to judge him either just yet, because I feel like I need to see a couple of more fights. I only seen the Glowacki, and then I believe he fought Minchuno or something like that, and he really couldn't get him out of there. He seems not to have a lot of punch. I remember Lampley talking about him moving up in weight to heavyweight. I'm like, how is he going to handle heavyweight when he's not knocking out cruiserweight? So it'd be interesting to see. You know, Steven also brought up a good point about the name. He's right. Bellew moving up was the name. But Huck has always been kind of the player in that division for a long, long time. But he, you know, I guess Bellew would still be the bigger name, to be honest. I'm interested to see how it all plays out. Like, I've been getting a lot of messages from our listeners, longtime listeners, obviously, that I should be checking out Briedis. So here's our opportunity, because there's really nothing else this weekend of note. But if anyone doesn't have any other last minute, I guess we can take some calls before we get to Barry, who's going to be on here in about 7 or 8 minutes.
Let's go to the callers.
Well, let's do it.
We do have a ringer we can get to right away off the back. I love that we have ringers who are just dying, waiting to come on. It's nice to see that they're taking advantage of the Patreon status. And anyone, if you're listening, you're not on Patreon yet, you're slipping.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
I mean, talk to us.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, Pacquiao, listen, you guys spent enough time talking about it. I think if he takes the fight with Jeff Horn, I mean, what else do we say, you know? Who's the guest coming on tonight? That's what I missed. I don't even want to waste my
Barry Hunter and Jose Ramirez. Barry Hunter and Jose Ramirez.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Yo, ask Barry if I know you asked I think you asked Derek James when he was on, but ask Barry, or you asked Lamont when he was on, matter of fact, if you know, if Broner and Lamont would ever fight.
Well, remember, he trains them both, but we'll do it. Your wishes are command. I mean, well, if you ain't got nothing, we'll get to someone else.
Yeah, let somebody else rock out, fellas.
All right. Thanks for calling in. As always, let's get to our ringer, Stainless.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Hey, yo, TBV, what's up?
What up, man? It's been a long time.
It's good.
Had us nervous over here.
Really? Nah, really, it ain't. I was, man, what's funny is Matt the Hipster texted me like maybe 10 minutes before the show came on and was like checking in on me to make sure I was okay, man, which I really appreciate. But I told him it's only been like a week and a half. It's just y'all do so many shows.
You see how I feel, Stainless, dude? Every time they see me, it's like, oh, Steven's back. It's like a reunion. It's like, man, I've only not even 7 days. Like six days and like 10 hours tops.
Yeah.
We're family. That's why. It's because we're family. That's why. Families can.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And nothing else, man. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, checking in on me because yesterday I was listening to the show and you did like Matt intro and was like, man, like what's famous? Like I ain't heard from him in a minute. I'm like, damn, I know I just talked to them like last Thursday or something, you know what I'm saying? But it's been so many shows. Speaking of which, I almost feel like man, you know, I'm sorry to waste time on other stuff, man, but that was a great interview with Mikey Garcia, man. He's so cool and down to earth, man. That perfect balance of just confidence and humility, you know what I mean, and just straightforward and honest with those answers, and y'all were not afraid to answer questions as you always are not, you know what I'm saying. You definitely speak as the voice of the people, and, you know, me and everybody else appreciates that. I don't really watch cruiserweight, you know, as MD already spoke to. It's a pretty much just a step up to heavyweight, and if you can't step up to heavyweight, then you stuck in cruiserweight at this point, which is what I'm thinking is gonna happen with Usyk, because I watched one of his fights and, you know, he don't seem like he had a power to be up there with them heavyweights. Unfortunately, I gotta speak on cherry picking ass Manny Pacquiao. To be honest with you, man, ever since Marquez knocked him out and Mayweather beat him boxing, like Manny Pacquiao has not been the same, man. You know, and I think somebody already spoke to the point of maybe he should just give up that belt, you know, and just fight off his name and let people know that he's still the goods or whatever, because you playing with them belts and there's some hungry ass lions out there right now, and they not, you know, they ain't worried about the money, man. They can get the money by getting your belt and getting your name. So if you ain't out there trying to do that damage, man, then you need to, you know what I'm saying, get out the tank with them sharks, because they ain't playing, man. And it's, you know what I'm saying, I'm so tired of the Manny Pacquiao ducking and cherry picking anyway. But I heard my clapper, so, you know what I'm saying, please make sure that you like and share this every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. Peace.
All right, Stainless. Well, thanks for calling in.
I just want to also say that there's a lot of fighters too that felt like that Floyd Mayweather didn't give them a shot either. You know, Tim Bradley, to name one. That's another guy who felt like that Floyd Mayweather didn't give hungry American fighters a shot. It always been said that Floyd Mayweather always had to fight an Hispanic fighter and never gave a young black fighter a chance.
He never chased that fight. He was never vocal. I remember interviewing Bradley myself a bunch of times. He's like, "Oh man, what I'm gonna call Mayweather? You know he pick and choose. It don't matter. You gotta shame him. You gotta shame him. Same way Clubber Lang did to Rocky. That's what you do. You shame him in the fighting.
Yeah, but if you have no shame, he's gonna fight Conor McGregor. Does he have shame?
Also, I remember an interview where Timothy Bradley did tell
everybody you asked them to fight, bro.
What I'm saying is a lot of fighters felt that way. This is it not fair to say that the knock on Floyd Mayweather was, people say this all the time, that he never wanted to give a young black fighter a chance. Is that not a knock on Floyd Mayweather? Am I the first one to ever make that up, Ness, or do you hear that over and over again?
That was no, not over and over. That was an old, an old thing, bro. That
was before he fought Berto, huh?
Well, I guess I don't know, man.
It's the truth, Ness.
No, I hear you, man. I mean, look at where we're at. That you want to critique him for not fighting enough black fighters. Wow.
Cut it. Damn, that cut it was loud. Sorry about that, guys. But we do have Monster Peace, who is on the line right now. We don't want to keep her waiting with our guest. Monster, are you still there? Monster.
I'm here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Monster Peace,
I
thank
have Barry
you.
Hunter here with.
Well, thank you, Barry. First and foremost, I want to thank you for coming on the show and giving us the opportunity to interview you. I know you're a busy man training so many people, but we do appreciate your time. How's everything?
Pleasure's all mine. Everything's fine, man. Thanks for asking.
Well, let's get right into it. We had your star fighter Lamont Peterson on about a week ago, and topic of conversation was Keith Thurman, being as though that Lamont is the mandatory for Keith Thurman. Today's actual show topic is the fact that Keith Thurman has now called out Manny Pacquiao, and that would be a 3-belt unification. But it's said in the media that Manny has already been deep in negotiations with an Australian fighter by the name of Jeff Horn. Shouldn't unification supersede anything else going on out there? Is Manny still in a position where, he can pick and choose his fighters? I just feel like at this point, if a unified champion is calling you out, it's kind of hard to turn that down, especially a fighter like Thurman, who's been in front of so many millions now that he's been fighting on free TV and all?
You know how I feel. We're not in the game of discriminating against who we fight. You know what I mean? I think the best will fight the best, and I definitely think it should be Lamont and Thurman next. Me personally, I think all the top, fighters in their division need to mix it up and fight each other. And that way we can get back to the fighting days of old. We had Ray Leonard and Hurd and Hagler, Duran, and all these guys fighting each other at the top of their career.
Barry Hunter, this is Matthew Hunter, one of the producers of the Boxing Voice. Glad to have you on. I want to get your thoughts on the Terence Crawford, Felix Diaz fight coming up. One of your star fighters, Lamont Peterson, shared the ring with Felix Diaz for 12 rounds. So you have a unique perspective on Felix Diaz in that fight. And Terence Crawford potentially moving up to 147 in the near future could be an opponent for Lamont Peterson. So what's your thoughts on that fight and the winner of that fight potentially facing Lamont Peterson down the line?
I think it'll be a good fight. I know Felix, of course, we faced Felix. We sparred him. One of the fighters sparred him in Florida during this time when he was with Mike Tyson and that group there. And I have a little bit more information on him from the amateurs when he fought one of the guys from the U.S. That was on the U.S. team, which was Carl Dargan years ago. And he's always a difficult guy to fight against. He's a short guy, but he's a very skilled guy, and he's able to hide punches underneath and bring him over the top also. He's not a real easy fella to fight. On the other hand, Terence Crawford was one of those guys, too, for the amateurs that ended up being a sleeper. Fought a lot of good competition. Of course, he's undefeated. And I think when you put those two guys' style together, it's going to make for a real good fight. I think it'll be a very fan-friendly fight.
Hey, Barry, this is Steven, the other producer.
I'm sorry, I was just saying, as far as them guys being potential opponents for us down the line or in the future, we'll welcome that challenge also.
All right, Barry, this is Steven, the other producer. So in regards to that fight, we were talking earlier about how that fight's going to be taking place in New York, as opposed to where Crawford has been selling out and doing really good numbers in his hometown, Nebraska. Do you think that it's important for a fighter to leave his hometown following, despite the fact he's doing good numbers there, to venture out there, to get his name out there so he can become a big star? We've seen Adrian Broner. He developed a really great following in Cincinnati, but he ventured out to Brooklyn, to Las Vegas, and he's one of the most popular fighters in the world. Do you think it's important that Terence Crawford do that, or do you feel that he would be just fine staying in his hometown doing good numbers?
Venturing out is not always a bad thing, if you're strong enough to do just that. But years ago, we had a fighter that was undefeated, and you guys know him, Fernando Guerrero. He was a rising star at the time. We fought
in his hometown, went to the Salisbury, Maryland. And I've never seen a crowd like that before for a guy that at that time wasn't even considered to be a prospect. I think he had between 8 or 12 fights, in town, 8 or 12 fights. And the arena was sold out. It was huge. It was on ESPN. And when he moved from Salisbury to venture out, I thought he did it too early. The crowd wasn't the same. The energy wasn't the same. And we lost a lot down the stretch with that move. But nevertheless, in Terence Crawford's case, I think he got a real good following in his hometown. It's strong. They support him. They love him. Me personally, I think I would stay at home just a little bit longer.
Hi, Barry. This is BoxingMD, another one of the co-hosts. Lamont was telling us that he was sparring some crazy amounts, like 20 rounds in a given day with alternating sparring partners. Is that something that your gym that's known for hard sparring that you encourage, or is that kind of like fighter-to-fighter basis? You know, some guys like to go hard and some guys like to, you know, save a little more for the ring.
That was at that particular time. That was one of the things that Lamont wanted to do. We had, you know, of course, various sparring partners in there. He didn't take punishment. Pretty much did what he wanted to do, and for whatever reason, he wanted to push the envelope just a little bit. Lamont is that type of athlete that you have to pretty much keep an eye on, because he'll push himself till he damn near pass out. And we've been there almost before too. So, you know, every once in a while, you know, I let him, you know, push the envelope a little bit. But for the most part, you know, I watch over him and I pull him out, because in his case, he can never get tired. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's only human, you know, and so, you know, sometimes you got to watch out for people like that.
Barry, Nestor Gibbs here. Obviously, I've been following Lamont for a long time now. And I remember when you guys fought Lucas Matisse in Atlantic City in the build-up to that fight, you said that was Hagler-Hearns, and you expected it to play out that way. But for a long time, Lamont had been fighting at 140, probably his whole career, and now he's 147. He doesn't have to struggle to make that 140-pound limit anymore. I seen in the last fight with Avanesian now how in the later rounds, you know, don't take any disrespect to this, but you kind of sicked him on Avanesian. He was like, get this guy out of here. And he, you know, he, outside of never sitting down on a stool, he seemed to have like just so much energy in the later half of the fight. How much closer is Lamont to being that version of Hagler or Hearns that you've seen him being so many years ago in Atlantic City, now at 47, that he has filled into the weight and doesn't have to struggle to make that weight?
I think that when you look at, you know, Lamont, and his brother, actually, they've been holding those weights since the amateurs, and that's a long time. I noticed that, you know, each time, you know, he would feel worse and worse going leading up to a fight. We would experience body cramps in the gym, and then it started transferring over into the fight. You know, when we fought Felix Diaz, he had full body cramps during that fight, and I believe it was I don't know if you guys remember, it was about the 10th or between the 10th and the 12th round. Stood up on the stool and a knot rose up in his lower half of his body on his right side, and he was trying to push it out. So Lamont know, if I feel as though any of my guys or athletes are in trouble, I'm quick to stop a fight, you know, because at the end of the day, it's about them, more so than a win or a loss. And so he pushed through it. But after that, I said, you know, we made the decision that it was time to move up. And, you know, this time in the fight, like you said, he had more energy. I did put him on David down the stretch. And the reason why I did that, because, you know, we went through the whole Danny Garcia deal, and I just didn't want to leave it up to the judges anymore. And, you know, I found it very, very strange going into the 10th round. I think one or two of the judges going into the 10th round had him down in that fight, which was crazy to me. So, you know, I didn't want to leave, you know, nothing to chance. That's why I went on ahead and put him on top of him down the stretch.
Barry, Adrian Broner recently had a fight against Adrian Granados, and he said that he hurt his hand. One, how is that hand doing? And two, do you have any idea who he's fighting next?
I haven't spoke to him in the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, but as far as I know, I've been in contact with guys in the camp, and as far as I know, his hand is doing a whole bunch better. There are several names that I had understood that he was supposed to have been looking at to fight, which I think one of them that I heard, I can't remember the kid's name, is from New York. Now, I heard there was talks about him fighting at 147 from New York. But other than that, I don't think they have a solid opponent, at this time.
Yeah, Barry, we were talking about this earlier. I know this is like kind of a controversial question, but do you feel that over the years that a lot of your fighters, you've trained a bunch of great American welterweights? Do you think that someone like Floyd Mayweather kind of has not really historically, I know it's kind of in the past, but given a lot of your fighters, a lot of great American fighters, opportunities to get in the ring with him, I guess typically not only picking Mexican and Mexican-American fighters?
I've heard, over the years, about, the picking certain fighters, or what have you. I don't know if he is a victim of the day and age that we live in, or, like you say, if it's a certain style fighters that he picked. Now, I believe that a fighter like with a style like a Terence Crawford or a style like a Lamont Peterson, even a Amir Khan or Andre Ward style, I think those are styles that would be more formidable to a fighter like Floyd, which I would love to see. But on the other hand, I don't know if it's a thing that he overlooked them or didn't want to fight those type of guys. But, in my heart of hearts, I would love to see him fight either one.
Barry,
if he's coming back.
You don't like the Conor McGregor fight? No, I'm just messing with you.
Barry, was the New York fighter? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're going to plead the fifth, you said?
I'm going to go ahead and take the fifth on that, man.
All right. Let me pick your brain a little bit more. Was the New York fighter that you're talking about, are you talking Saddam Ali that's trained by Andre Rozier, same trainer of Daniel Jacobs?
No, it's not Saddam. You guys know him very well, and I feel very embarrassed.
Eddie Gomez. Eddie Gomez. Is he undefeated or no?
Not Eddie.
Luis Collazo?
No, with the tattoos. Luis Collazo.
Versus who? Versus Broner?
Collazo was one of the names that I heard.
Ooh, that's a good fight.
And if that fight ever was going to pass, it's not a cakewalk, Of course, Louis is not the same Luis Collazo, from yesterday. But nevertheless, that's a formidable opponent for any fight at 147.
That's definitely an interesting fight. Now, when that was proposed, is that going to be a Cincinnati, Ohio type of fight, or is that New York City, Brooklyn?
Well, I'm not sure. I overheard some of the guys in the gym, a couple of weeks ago talking about, a potential opponent for Adrian. I don't know if it's something that's etched in stone or if it's something the guys were speaking about or what have you, but that was one of the names that I had heard as far as Adrian was concerned. You know how I feel about him. I'm a little biased. Now, I still think that, Adrian, his skill set, if he embraced all that he can do in this game, he's a phenomenal fighter, man.
Barry, I got to ask you, though, are you not afraid of having Adrian in there with not afraid, obviously, these fighters are fighters, they're prize fighters, this is what they do, but, I mean, to see what we seen Luis Collazo be able to do in his last fight versus Sammy Vasquez, he seemed like a different fighter, definitely a fighter, with some motivation, a fire under his belt for sure.
I mean, hey, you know, you heard me say a little earlier, very, very skillful, very dangerous. In fact, I remember when he was about 15 or 16 years old, he came down here, which was the first time I ever had a chance to see him fight. He fought in the DC Mayor's Cup, and he won outstanding fighter. In fact, I still got the picture of him and I, you know, in the after that fight. And I've watched him over the years, and you know, there was a lot of fights that I feel as though he came out in on the short end of the stick where I thought he won. Anybody that fights Collazo got to come with the A game. The bottom line. Do I think Adrian could beat him? Absolutely. If Adrian does what Adrian can do. I mean, like I said, Adrian is a very, very special individual. He can do so many things as far as athletics are concerned. If he ever, once again, embraced that which he can do, like when he was young, when he used to stay up here in D.C. with us, when Mike sent him up here to stay with us in D.C. years ago, man, dude he's an awesome athlete, man.
Barry, I got one more before we let you go. And again, I just want to reiterate that I'm thanking you for, MD has one too.
Yeah, Barry, I do have a question. Like you said, when he was up in D.C., I did feel like Adrian Broner, I've seen him physically, is way too small for 147 and even 140 pounds. I think it is part of what you mean is living the life and eating the diet, because like you said, man, he was looking amazing at the lower weight classes where he should be. Is that kind of where you're hinting at it?
Well, you know, if he decides to stay at 140, 147, these are big guys, naturally big guys. And yes, Adrian did a lot of damage, you know, in the lower weight classes in his earlier years. But when he, after the fight, the first fight that he lost, came back to the city with the whole crew, you know, myself, Mike, and, you know, Patrice Harris, which we call Boogie. You guys know him as a pad man. We started to operate. And once that happened, I mean, put it this way, we are 100-0 together. We never lost a fight together. And so I don't know if that's a part of it. I don't know if that's all of it. But I do know this. Adrian Broner, you know, pound for pound, may be one of the most talented fighters I've ever seen. Natural boxers I've ever seen. And again, if he go back to what got him there in the first place, and that's just flat out hard work and grinding. If he go back to that, it'll be hard to beat him, man.
Barry, again, I just want to say thank you for the time that you're giving us, but I do want to change topics a little bit because you have so much knowledge on so many of these fighters that are today's stars. And one guy that is going to make his mark is Errol Spence Jr. And you've always been candid with me. I remember you making me famous and giving me the great interview discussing Errol Spence's sparring session with both Broner and Mayweather. So this time around, he's going to fight Kell Brooks, someone that, you know, people rate highly. I mean, some even still after Thurman unifying rate Kell Brook as the #1 welterweight. You know Errol Spence well, obviously, because of the amateurs, then the Olympics, and he's done training camps with your fighters. What could you tell us, and what could we expect May 27th in Sheffield with this fight with the young Errol Spence? Is he truly the truth?
True story. I took the U.S. team to Paris, France. I believe it was before the game, so that had to be about 2010, anywhere from 2009 to 2011. And we trained. It was a Four Nations duel. Actually, Lomachenko was on the team of the Ukraine. So it was Hungary, it was U.S., it was France, and America. And so what happened was they brought a kid in there to spar. We were sparring one weight class up and one weight class down. And they had a guy for Earl to spar.
They brought him in. We trained with Fran for about a week or two. They brought the kid in, and lo and behold, this dude was like, I want to say, and you can check with Earl, we call him EJ. You can check with EJ. The guy was either light heavyweight, super middle. He was much bigger than EJ at the time. And so I stopped it. And the same guys we were communicating with, they had broken English, but they understood us, we understood them. But when I stopped it, and I said, oh, this dude is real big, man. I said, what's going on? So all of a sudden, they spoke absolutely no English. We couldn't communicate anymore. So Earl told me, he said, don't worry about it, Coach B. He said, I got him. And he said it with such conviction and so much confidence. I said, you sure? He said, I got him. Bell commenced, the bell rang. I mean, he hopped on this dude, man, and the rest was history. Body shot, hook, body shot again, one more hook, and it was over. You know, and again, just like Adrian, anytime that I ever took him out of the country on a big stage, and he fought a lot against Eastern European fighters or fighters from the UK, never lost. I've never lost a fight with him, domestic or international. Yes, he is a real McCoy. Yes, he can do damage. Kell Brook is not an easy date. So I'm looking for a real good fight. And again, that's another fight that's going to be very fan-friendly. You can bank on that. But at the end of the fight, my feeling is that they're going to be putting that leather strap around Earl's waist.
Hey, Barry, I just have one more question before I'm finished with my questions. It's interesting you brought up the UK, and the UK seems to be, I guess, becoming the mecca of boxing in a lot of ways, especially in the heavyweight division. And we often we talk about the American heavyweight Wilder a lot in the show. From a trainer's perspective, right? You've been around the game in a long time. Do you see a heavyweight with just having an eraser, a guy who gets outboxed for 4 rounds against Gerald Washington, an unknown, having longevity in the heavyweight division like American boxing fans want to happen?
I think because of the era, all the great heavyweights, and you guys know boxing go as the heavyweight division goes, or shows the past have shown that. When you see great fighters like, Evander, or when you see great bouts, Evander, Bo Holyfield, Ernie Shavers, Larry Holmes, Ron Lau, Michael Dokes, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis. These were great heavyweight fighters, man, and they performed. Yes, they did. So we've been spoiled by that. At least I have, for sure. And we yearn to see those type of fights, once again, especially in the U.S. Over the years, we've been dominated, in the heavyweight division, which it took, some getting used to, and I'm still not used to it. I think it go back to this flat out old school teaching the fighters. A lot of times when we put our product out there, we put it out there too early before it's time. This is the U.S. I still think we got a shot at it. In fact, I know we do. Some of these great teachers that we have that's left, flat out just need to, keep teaching. They're doing what they're doing, and make sure they pass the torch to that next generation. Because I definitely think that's what happened. I think we have more rah-rah people than we had trainers and teachers. Once we get back to that, yes, we do have a product, and I think we're going to be back on top where we need to be.
So you're saying Wilder's not that guy? Is that kind of what you're saying?
No, I'm saying Wilder, he has the foundation. He's big, he's strong, and considering the state of the heavyweight now, he definitely has a chance. But I'm saying that as good as Wilder is now, he can be even better than that. It just takes a little bit more time, and again, more emphasis on the teaching of the craft to, our heavyweights and, our fighters in general. And then you will see, of course, U.S., especially in the heavyweight division, be back on top where they need to be. Because I hear that, I hear just like, I hear on some of these shows, I hear the criticism of Wilder or what have you. I think Wilder is raw. You know what I mean? And I think he still has room to grow. And once he, get to the level that he can potentially get to, because he's a great athlete, once he get to the level that he could possibly be, I think that, with just basic fundamentals of fight, sometimes he tend to get a little wild, during the fight, but he's so damn strong, that's the equalizer. Now just imagine if Wilder threw straight punches like Riddick Bowe did, or cut to the body like Holyfield, or punch him down like Tyson did. With the height and size he got.
But Barry, the frustration is, and I think for a lot of boxing fans, including myself, is besides Sergio Martinez, who picked up boxing very late and had long-term success. I mean, these guys you're talking about, Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield, they grew up boxing and they had that muscle memory, right? They had that fundamental, so it looks smoother, right? Transitioning into power, using your footwork and whatever. I think that's where the criticism comes with Wilder, because he's not, 16, 17 years old. He's in his 30s.
Yeah, but that's true. But then you still, if say, of course, doing when you're a kid, you coming up through the sport now, because I got a ton of them in the gym as we speak. They absorb things a whole lot better when they, like 8 or 9, 10 years old on up. I get that. And I know he started late. But the foundation that he has that grit with him. Again, he's strong and he's a very good athlete. If you put emphasis and a lot of times it just takes flat out just repetition over and over and over and over again. And myself as one of the teachers that I'm speaking of, sometimes you get frustrated, and you want him to get it faster than this kid over here, but he can't. You still got to stay on that and be consistent with it. Push, push, push. No, that's not. I don't care if he do it 1,000 times. If he get it right that 1,000 times, then it was all worth it. The other times it was all worth it. So I just think it just flat out need more emphasis on teaching.
Barry, but how do you deliver that message, right? You have a guy in Mark Breland who's an Olympian. He's a fairly accomplished man. And Jay Diaz, how does anyone tell Jay Diaz that he's not doing a good job when he brought Wilder from a Dunkin' Donuts worker to a world champion? Like, how does this message get delivered to them so that these punches can straighten up, so that, they're not making memes of the American heavyweight champion as a paddle boat?
Well, of course, those names you named, they've been around this game a long time. So, they don't need me to tell them how to do their job. I can only speak for myself, and, I hold accountability on myself only. I just think that, everybody have their, different ways that they do things, but I definitely think there is room for improvement with Wilder, and I think it can be done. But like you said, it was good enough to get him to this point. So, keep a little bit more faith, and, maybe down the stretch, maybe the light cut on, which he will learn a little bit more, and he will get a little bit better as far as technique is concerned.
Last absolute question, and if you have any social media, you can give it out. Now that Luis Ortiz just signed to Al Heyman, obviously the world is assuming Wilder is going to fight King Kong Luis Ortiz. Do you feel that happens?
I think it will. Both guys keep winning. Wilder doesn't do his job, in his next fight, and Ortiz, like you say, he keep doing this thing. Yeah, it's almost certain that they, probably get in there and match up with one another.
Well, all right, Barry, thank you again. We want to.
He came out.
You said what?
Ortiz, I was just going to say, Ortiz came off that Cuban machine, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so, of course, those guys I had a chance to, in the amateurs, coach against Rigondeaux, Gamboa, Salome, not the one that's world champion, but the one that was an Olympic gold medalist. And, they are always in a situation where they can give you a lot of trouble. But on the flip side of that, I watched Ortiz fight Tony Thompson, and Wilder, I think, Wilder has an unorthodox style. It's not a traditional style, so it's hard to prepare for a style like his. He throws unorthodox punches. You don't know where the punch coming from a lot of times, and he's a big, strong guy. So, I think that anybody that fights Wilder, be he throws straight punches or not, will have a hard time dealing with him.
Well, all right, Barry. Barry, thank you so much for all your time. We want to just give you, an opportunity. If you have any social media, you want to give out any social media for listeners that are listening that may want to follow you. If not, once again, thank you. Can't thank you enough, obviously, for taking out the time of day to giving us the opportunity to interview you.
No, you're more than welcome, man. Anytime I get a chance to talk to you guys, man, it's a great thing. And no, unfortunately, of course, I'm one of them guys, that's out of the matrix, man. I don't have nothing as it pertains to social media. So, I kind of rely on the guys to tell me what's going on.
You don't have the young kids in the gym telling you to get on Twitter and Instagram and all those other things, man?
All the time, all the time, it's just something that I've never, grasped. I'm still stuck in the days when I need to talk to somebody. I'd rather talk to them either face to face or like we're talking now. I just never got into the whole, internet thing.
Well, all right, Barry. That's all right. We want to thank you anyway. And Monster Piece, thank you for the connection. There you have it, Barry Hunter. That was a great interview. We got a lot of good information there from world-class trainer. So let's get back out to these phone lines. We're going to go to some international callers here. Alumni.
But no one can stop me, really.
Oh, there's a king croc right there. This croc has enough power in its jaws to whip my ass right off. You get in the sixth round.
You gotta be the legend to become a legend. Honestly, these are unbeatable. You gotta be the legend to become a legend.
Hey boys, great interview, guys. Always good to hear from the professionals in the sport, you know what I mean? So it's a good thing we're hearing from world champion trainers and world champions themselves. I heard the Mikey Garcia interview earlier, another great interview. I'll quickly run down the topics. Actually, Matt, you laughed at me for this. Remember, I was telling you at the TBV Appreciation Night, Ellie Sekbak told me that with the whole Amir Khan thing, he said, don't sleep on it because Jeff Horn still might get that fight because we've moved on.
I did laugh at you, and you can now laugh at me, and we can both laugh at the sport of boxing for allowing this fight to happen.
And everyone will laugh at Matt when he gets knocked out June 3rd.
Stevie.
Come on, Matt. Us Aussies, bro. Like, you ever watch Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon? You speed that movie up. That's like me in slow motion, bro. Come on, Aussies. We've got a thing inside of us. But in all seriousness, look, the Thurman fight obviously is a lot better. Amir Khan would even be a better fight. But look, if I heard someone say something about like Pacquiao vacating, like that's just a pretty stupid idea because at the end of the day, then it's Tim Bradley number 1, Jeff Horn number 2. They're going to fight for the vacant title, and Jeff Horn still has a shot at being the champion. Like, I mean, like, let's face it, like give Pacquiao this soft touch, maybe Thurman a soft touch around the same time, June, July time, then maybe towards the end of the year, November, December, we see a Pacquiao-Thurman, mouth-watering clash. I mean, we're all big fans of the sport. We want these big fights, but sometimes we don't get them. I mean, it took us 6-7 years to get the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. What other topics were there, sorry?
Yeah, but you're ignoring the question. Is it a duck? I mean, Thurman is calling out another champion. He has 2 belts. That's 3 belts on the line. I mean, asking for a soft touch? Why? Thurman should be asking for a soft touch. He's the one that had 3 straight tough fights, and he doesn't want a soft touch. He wants Manny Pacquiao for a 3 title unification for undisputed champion in the welterweight division.
I know, but
not ducking.
When was the last time Pacquiao fought? When did Pacquiao last fight?
Last November.
November, October. So you're asking him to have almost a whole year layoff, 3/4 of a year layoff.
Well, we asked Thurman to do it. We asked Thurman to do it when he fought Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia got the tune-up, not Keith Thurman.
I just don't know, Ness. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, Tim Bradley, Vargas. Is that really like? I mean, this is the thing. I love Keith Thurman. I'm a big Keith Thurman fan, and I want Keith Thurman to get the fight. But like, you don't need to go like delusionally hateful on Manny Pacquiao because of that. Jesus Christ, like.
We're not hateful on Manny Pacquiao. We're hateful on Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn.
I know, correct, but like, don't make it seem like Manny Pacquiao's been fighting easy touches, man. It's crazy. I mean, Tim Bradley.
You were on the show when he fought Jesse Vargas. You said that fight was shit. That Jesse Vargas was a cherry pick.
Because I think Manny Pacquiao is great for sure. It's shit. It was shit. But like.
The way that you're going about this is wrong, MD, because we're not making it about resume, and that's what we're making it about a man who has a belt, obviously avoiding a unification, which is precedent in boxing.
Yo, Alex has 20 seconds.
Give Alex more time.
Alex, you got like another 30 seconds. I'm rewinding the clock for you, brother.
All right, I'll wrap this up real quick. Look, he's a unified division, but negotiations with a unified champ will be a lot harder than someone like Jeff Horn, who's going to pretty much take what he can get. He's going to take any amount of money. He's going to do that. And he had been mid-negotiations with him. So those negotiations are almost wrapped up. Whereas with Thurman, it's a whole nother thing. You know, he's got to start from scratch. Like I said to Matt before, this was just the whole Khan thing was just a little smoke screen to get Jeff Horn to take less money. That's basically it. But that's my calls. Thanks for everything. Thumbs up, everyone. Sign up to Patreon if you haven't. So much content, and do VADA testing for the June 3 fight, Stephen. I have a feeling Matt the Hipster is going to be under the influence of some kind of green substance, but that's my call.
No, wait, what about Steven taking all those pills, man? Did you not see him with Victor Conte?
Those are all natural substance.
Damn.
Yeah,
They're
sure.
all natural.
Wait, Matt, you have a picture.
Barry Bond said too.
You have is it the Bacne or is it the gynecomastia that's giving Stephen away right now?
Dude, on the weigh-in, you won't see no zits on my back or on my chest, brother.
Steven, that's all fear, baby. That's all fear. Let's get to the callers.
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
Do you think Jeff Horn gets more or less than $1 million?
Oh. If it's on pay-per-view, I can see him doing $1 million total. Maybe not a guaranteed of $1 million.
I think he's getting 900,000.
Yeah, I can see that. He's going to get paid well. You're fighting Manny Pacquiao. You deserve to get paid well, in a sense.
Yo, check this guy out in the chat. I love him. I gotta confirm with the Anthony, who's our editor, to make sure this is the same Anthony over here. Ness acts like Arum and Heyman gonna make easy negotiations. Somebody else jab him, so I don't have to do it, because I could have sworn Arum and Heyman just made negotiations with Felix Diaz.
And John Molina Jr.
I mean, this guy's bugging right here, man. Dude, this is what we do for a living, Holmes.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
Go to the next caller, please.
Caller, drop the ball, masterpiece.
I was actually gonna. Well, now that Monster left, I was actually gonna wait for your call, but I have to leave because of medical emergencies, aka I have to study. So you could follow me at BoxingMD1 on Twitter. We will come back with more content, and I will remind you guys to join Patreon, because not only do we provide you guys with exclusive content, which is the film reviews, and we're going to be doing more of those film reviews, random topics, more to come to that, but the entire 24/7, 365, I don't know, whatever you call it, previews of all of our fights, right? You had me on an exotic location. I was one with nature, reflecting. I was one with nature, right? I was one with nature. I was reflecting on life, and I was visualizing things that needed to happen. You have Matt shaved his beard, a new man, new training, coming back on a win. You have Steven with his wife, who may be nicknamed Heredia. We don't know. VADA testing, you should demand it, Matt. But again, joining Patreon gets you guys access to all that material and all the fights. So we ask you guys to benefit yourselves by going to ThaBoxingVoice.com/Patreon. If I mess that up, then If you Google Chrome it will come up whatever the fuck, right? So, so yes.
Me, or does MD have like a black girl soul when he talks? You see his neck, he's like, Google it, and he's like cracking the neck, he's snapping the neck like his equal or something.
I mean, I am. You do say that since I'm the A side, I have diva status, right? So maybe there's some diva in the deliverance, right? So
that Cuban in you, you got that Latin flavor in you. We just don't see it as much.
Yeah, hidden behind the polo and the American pride. You know what I mean? So having said that, right, Jose, keep training, keep doing your thing. Make sure that your family and your loved ones have good insurance. Life insurance. No, I'm just fucking with you. I don't want anybody to be seriously injured, but I will win later.
I think MD needs to be the one tested for that green, talking about visualizing and being one with nature. And
yeah, it sounded like Keith Thurman over there.
He definitely sounded like Keith Thurman for sure. The All-American has left the building. It's time to get to Oxnard Brad. What's going on, Brad?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, brother? What's up?
Nothing much. Yeah, it's not legal though in Florida though, right? Like the green.
It's medical.
It's medical, but anyway. MD made it clear that you have to practically be dying to get it.
Unlike in California, we go in and say, I have a bad back, and the doctor is not even listening to you because he's already writing it out.
California is a good place, but anyway, that was a great interview. I really enjoyed it. I think that, I don't think that anyone was trying to make him say that Wilder's not qualified, but it just felt like, you dig in, and I understand that, but you just can't say like, hey, Wilder, he's not going to hold up because he punches way too hard, man. He can make the difference. His equalizer's unreal. But about Manny Pacquiao versus Thurman, the idea of that, before the Garcia match, I would have actually just favored Pacquiao, but I would have still said, hell, that's a great fight, But when the Garcia fight happened, I actually I can't see right now, but the way I look at it is simple. He was fighting off his back foot. He was doing things that, not everybody likes it, but who likes Mayweather fighting off his back foot? They saying, oh, he isn't getting in brawls and stuff, but now look at what everybody's saying. He's the greatest ever and all this. You know what I mean? Because he's the best at fighting off his back foot. You know what I'm saying? So, he shows a lot more, and I would actually put him above Pacquiao due to his age. And I see both sides about the career, like MD was saying, like, look at Pacquiao and his career. And then I see what you're saying, Ness. It's a little bit more relevant. Like, what are you doing right now? And who is Jeff Horn? That's a good soundbite, But, yeah, I definitely think that he should pick anybody. And what was he doing with Jeff Horn? This back and forth, and it's Amir Khan. Then they talk about going to, over, where was it that they were going to do the Amir Khan fight?
Dubai.
Yeah. So, they were talking about that, and then that changed. It's just so much stuff changing. All this hype that they're getting with Jeff Horn, you guys are going to make him famous, and he's nobody that probably will ever amount to anything. But that's about it. Like and share and subscribe and join the Patreon that I've yet to do, but I definitely plan to. Everything's great here, as always. Later on, guys.
All right, Brad. Man, I'm just baffled, dude. I'm baffled that no one is like, yeah, Ness, you're right, man. Fuck, that's 2 titles. Like, that's a guy with 2 titles calling out Pacquiao. Everybody, like, we're so used to Pacquiao being levels above everyone, or people being so underly qualified that we've given him passes for so long that right now he's ducking before our eyes and no one can see it. It's
I
crazy.
don't think anyone is necessarily saying it's not, or it's not a duck. I think everyone is pretty much in consensus that this is.
Listen, I'm going to be fair, Matt, and I'm going to say that the only way Jeff Horn is okay, and I know that the haters, you know, the Pacquiao fanboys, they're not going to make it this deep in the show, but the only way that Jeff Horn is okay is if there's a contract sent to Keith Thurman that it is next because they feel the fight is too big and they want to build it up properly. I'll buy that.
Like an underworld.
But I would rather this. Pacquiao's already a superstar that only fights whenever he wants to fight. Plus, his whole Congress, Senate, whatever junkety box, he could only fight on certain days. So he don't need no in-between fight. They could just set the date and start fucking promoting today. This takes precedent, man. Nobody should be saying nothing. Unless Mayweather says, yo, I'm gonna give Pacquiao a rematch, Pacquiao should be fighting Thurman. Because the other welterweight with the belt is tied up. For too long, Top Rank has had 2 viable welterweights that have made it okay. It's always been like, oh, well, Pacquiao's fighting Marquez, it's okay. Well, Pacquiao's fighting Bradley, it's okay. And then it was like, oh, well, Pacquiao's fighting Vargas because guess what? He's a world champion, so it's okay. It ain't okay no more. Jeff Horn ain't okay.
Ness, come on. We both know that when we first did shows on this a while back, you were a little bit more apologetic about Manny Pacquiao. You weren't necessarily calling it a duck. You were giving me shit for calling it a duck.
Listen, no one had 2 belts. Listen, Thurman has claim to Pacquiao's belt because he has 2.
So Thurman calling him out changes the equation for you, right?
It don't got to be Thurman, bro. It could be anybody in the
fighter X that has 2 belts. Yes, I get what you're saying.
Hell yeah. No one has ever. That's what I'm saying. This has never happened.
So if Thurman never called him out, would you be okay with Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn?
If Thurman never called him out, yeah, I would be okay because he's not making himself available, right?
I think it's a shit fight no matter Thurman calling him out. Let's be honest.
But if there is no one available for Pacquiao, it's different. It's not different if Thurman is saying, yo, I'm available, and he got them 2 belts. It's like,
Thurman doesn't need to call him out. He's still available, right? Like, your logic is, well, if there's nobody available, well, Thurman is available, whether he calls him out or not.
Look, I don't even know why do you want to argue available, not available. The point is the man called him out. He got 2 belts, and it would be 3. Like, why you want to make it all this other weird stuff? That's all I'm saying. Everybody's trying to hang on other things. Let's hang on the fact that the undisputed unified champion of the welterweight division wants to become undisputed by unifying a 3rd title.
Yes.
How is that not a duck then?
I never said it wasn't duck. I'm just saying this has been a cherry pick / duck from the beginning of the negotiations. It's not just that now. Because Manny Pacquiao could have said, I'm fighting Keith Thurman instead of Jeff Horn. And he'll get that fight. It's Manny fucking Pacquiao. If he wants to fight Keith Thurman, he will fight Keith Thurman.
Yo, guys, we're going in circles. We should let the callers get their opinion on this because we've argued the same points back and forth earlier in the show.
True. Let's go to Larry, San Francisco.
Hey, big up to the Boxing Voice, the trifecta today. Appreciate all the content as usual. Hey, but Ness, I got emergency services on their way to your spot right now to help cure you of the double standard itis that you've been infected with. Coming out of Maypac when Floyd Mayweather won that decision against Pacquiao, fair and square, outboxed him and beat him, and had one more fight to go. You were beating the drum for the Kell Brook unification, right?
Dude, he called it his retirement fight, and he has retired. He has retired, and he made it clear it was going to be Berto or Mayfield. He made it clear. I mean,
if I knew how to say excuse, if I knew how to say excuses are like buttholes in Spanish, I would say it so you understand.
Yo, you know what you're forgetting? You know what you're forgetting?
It's a double standard.
No, you know what you're forgetting? That Manny Pacquiao already used "this is my last fight" excuse. He lied already, bro. Mayweather didn't do that. He really said this is my last fight, and until this day, he hasn't fought. Manny already gave us that excuse on another weak-ass opponent, bro. Now he's back, still not retired, with a weak-ass opponent. When you got a unified champion calling you out. I mean, I don't understand. How am I the only one on the right side of this?
You're the only one on the excuse-making side of it, but I agree with you that the Keith Thurman fight is the fight to make, and I'm not happy about the Jeff Horn fight. But you're disrespecting the great Manny Pacquiao. If you're going to keep quiet and say nothing when Floyd is ducking the undisputed welterweight of the world fight, give Manny the same credit and respect. It should be Keith Thurman, it should be Terence Crawford, but it ain't. But the double standard item has got to go. And I'm out.
Did Kell Brook call out Floyd after Floyd beat Manny Pacquiao? I don't even know, because that's the basis of his argument. He's saying when Floyd beat Manny, was I not banging the drum? No, why wasn't I banging the drum for Kell Brook to be to get his shot at undisputed, or Mayweather to go at Kell Brook for undisputed, right? But was Kell Brook calling him out? Because that's what we're saying. And it's the other way around. The man with more titles is calling out the one with one title. The dude that has one title historically wants to unify titles. Isn't that the way that it works? Don't you have one and want to get another? Isn't that what Joshua's doing? Isn't that what Wilder is claiming? I mean, am I making this stuff up, Matt?
No, I don't think you're making this up. I think.
Right, so what about this last question, right? Is it typical for the man with more belts to be calling out the ones with one belt outside of Golovkin?
No, it is usually rarer if you're just using that criteria. But we have to admit that if Floyd Mayweather had one belt and Keith Thurman had 3 belts, it still wouldn't matter. Mayweather's the A side and Pacquiao's the A side still. It doesn't matter the amount of belts.
But we're not arguing A side. Let's not use bad words. We're arguing.
I'm just saying that
we're arguing who has the ability to call you out. Like, for so long we said Mayweather and Pacquiao got passes because the guys that were calling up didn't have the credentials. But now we got a guy that has credentials and 2 belts. That's all I'm saying. But whatever, man.
I just want to get your quick opinion on it. Do you think that Bob Arum doesn't want the Keith Thurman fight, or Michael Kuhn? Like, who do you think doesn't want this fight?
I don't know. My thing is, we haven't even seen a headline that they've entertained it, that they sent an offer, and that's what I don't like. I just don't like that. But whatever. Listen, let me go out to.
Oh, real quick, Ness. Kell Brook I'm reading an article from Bleacher Report that was published March 27th, 2016. Kell Brook did call out Floyd Mayweather and Danny Garcia after his Kevin Bizier fight. So Kell Brook did at one point call out Floyd Mayweather.
After Bizier, we're talking about after Manny Pacquiao lost.
You asked if he called him out, and he did.
No, I specifically said after Floyd beat Manny. That's when
Floyd. After Floyd.
That's when Floyd was unified.
This was after Floyd, and there was no other unified fighter in the division at that time. Also, Manny Pacquiao said that his last fight would be against Jesse Vargas. He hasn't signed to fight anyone yet. Floyd Mayweather said his last fight would be against Berto. He hasn't signed to fight anyone yet. Both of them are in talks to fight different people.
Steven, you forget that he also said the 3rd Timothy Bradley fight was going to be his last fight.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck. Damn it.
You forgot about that.
Let's go to Scorsese.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm walking around, so I didn't know, but yeah, I'm good now. Keith Thurman just had like 6 million people watching him, and I don't recall hearing the name Manny Pacquiao that night, did I? Hello?
No, Thurman didn't call out Pacquiao that night, but to be fair, Thurman was the unified champ. I mean, I think you call out a fighter like Pacquiao after the fact. You wouldn't call him out in the ring. I mean, you just proved that you're the top welterweight.
No. Like it's a ladder that Thurman need to climb. I get it. He got 2 belts, but it's a all-time ladder that we talking about with Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao done a lot of cherry picking, but he is who he is. It is what it is. Thurman posted a picture 2 days ago. How many days ago was this picture posted?
2 days ago, 2 days ago,
Yeah.
3 days ago, 1 day before this bullshit ass news.
No. I mean, but he been hearing. He had 6 million people on him. Now you just want 40,000 Instagram followers, and
So that's your argument. That's your argument. He didn't do it. He didn't do it on free TV, so it don't count. Man, you're a fucking packtard.
No, he ain't done it. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I just told you. He done did it. Like when MD was talking about the 10 Hall of Famers he beat, I thought about all the weight stipulations and all the no drug tests and doing all that. So, no, I'm not a packtard. I'm just saying if Keith Thurman wanted that fight, he should have been more vocal before 2 days ago. You know, like these do take promotions. These take long times. You're not just going to deal with Heyman and make the fight in 1 day. You're going to have to sit down and say, this is what we're doing. It's on this network. Keep Thurman, he ain't about that life like that. I ain't doubting he'll fight him, but he ain't thinking smart. Go call out a man. Amir Khan fell apart. Jeff Horn, first of all, Jeff Horn is not some guy that ain't never fought before. He's in the WBO top 3. He earned this spot. He wants to fight for his title. He would knock Amir Khan out, and I honestly think he could hurt Thurman to the body. This the first real welterweight that Pacquiao done fought since you name it.
Yo, you see how ass backwards this guy is? Yo, you're nothing but a hater, bro. You're sitting here trying to defend. You're sitting here trying to defend Jeff Horn that no one ever heard of over Keith Thurman.
Because I watched Horn, just because I seen Jeff
just
Horn.
Because Keith Thurman posted on his Instagram, he's rooting for Jeff Horn. Yo, you are the biggest. You are the biggest hater we've ever had call this show, bro. The biggest hater, bro. All you do is hate. This is the same guy. Bro, you're the same. You're the same guy that said fucking Sean Porter versus Thurman was no good. This guy is historically always saying fights are no good, bro. Like this guy's he's the new hater of the show. Straight.
Well, I think a kind of a more important point was that Keith Thurman at the time when he beat Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao was already like they were talking about him versus Khan as a done deal, and a week before that they were talking about him versus Jeff Horn as a done deal. So it wasn't like Manny Pacquiao was like looking for an opponent. So I would totally understand why Thurman would be like, Pacquiao's got
Pac-Man excuses, man. They got Pac-Man excuses, man. We going to West.
Very fast. I want to make a quick point. Out of all the sort of hater bullshit that Scorsese was saying, he said one thing that was very true.
Sure. What's that?
If Keith Thurman really won this fight, he would have called him out in the ring after the day.
Yeah, so all of a sudden,
very similar to what we asked Terence Crawford to do.
Yeah, but all of a sudden that trumps it. All of a sudden it trumps it because he didn't do it.
No. I'm not saying it trumps it. I'm just saying that is true.
He can't notice his mistakes and do it again and call him out. Come on, bro. This guy's
you can also say that it would have been a bigger response if he called him out in the ring.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. The man got 2 belts and you ducking him. He got 2 belts. He called you out. You find somebody no one ever seen. Jeff Horn could steal my car and I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but you can say he could have made it bigger and more of a bigger deal, and also say it's still duck from Manny Pacquiao. The two aren't mutually exclusive.
Dude, I don't even know what is. I know you want to play devil's advocate. That has to be it, bro. Because
what do you mean?
Insane.
Do you think that if Keith Thurman called Manny Pacquiao in the ring after the Danny Garcia fight, it would not have been headline news on ESPN and everywhere? Come on, you know it.
Maybe, Matt, but that doesn't automatically void him. That doesn't void him out.
I know that. I'm not saying it does.
On NBC, it's done.
I'm not saying it does void it.
Matt, think about it this way. Thurman had just gotten done fighting 12 rounds, taking punches to the head. It's like when people judged Juan Manuel Lopez after what he said after the fight, and Arum had to step in. Look, these guys just got done fighting, pushing themselves. They're not going to be able to think clearly. And I know you can't understand that now, but you'll find out come June 3rd. You won't be able to think straight. You won't be able to think straight after, and you'll finally be able to understand.
You're making your pro debut, Stevie. It's okay, boy. It's okay. Just sit down there.
I I can't wait for Steven to beat the crap out of Matt.
You're just up and down. Arguing with you right now. Come on, man.
Straight up and down. I see that left hook coming. I seen how he threw it already in the Instagram clip. I seen it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to send me all the footage, bro. The world hasn't even seen what I've seen, bro. They don't know. They don't know.
Under wraps. You gotta say the best for last. People don't get it.
Diva Stevie over here.
Dude, everybody's getting promoted on Patreon like superstars, man. You got to send the tape. Listen, let's get back to these callers, bro, because Matt's being the, Manny Pacquiao Saberho lover.
I'm not saying it. I say it's a duck. You know that. I've been shitting on this fight since the beginning. I'm just saying it's also true that Keith Thurman would have a bigger opportunity to get this fight if he called him out on national television.
Sure. Let's go to West Africa. Muhammad, talk to me.
Yo, what up? I got 3 minutes, right?
Yes, it's a Thursday show.
Yeah, Ness, I'm surprised that you're surprised that this situation is taking place. Whenever did you see Pacquiao fight somebody coming off not one big win, but two big wins in a row? Pacquiao does not do that. He fight people coming off of a loss or catch weight or somebody who's not used to the weight division like Brandon Rios. Yes, absolutely. And, hello?
Yeah, I gotta cut you off, Muhammad. Sorry, dude.
We'll be back, Muhammad. We got our second guest of the day. Oh.
All right, Masterpiece, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, guys, I'm here. I could hear you. I have Jose Ramirez on the phone.
Jose, how are you?
Good. Just finishing dinner right now. Having a long training session today, a long training day. Just finished my third session, not 4 o'clock. So,
well, we want to obviously thank you for giving us the opportunity to interview you. As you just said, you're very busy, deep in training with one superstar, Manny Pacquiao, and you've been putting in a whole bunch of rounds. But this is not your first time at the rodeo with Pacquiao. But just tell us a little bit about your days, man. How is it being in those camps? What exactly are you learning, and what could we look forward to that you've soaked in during your time with him?
well, right now, well, first of all, thank you guys for allowing me to be on the show. Today was Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. Saturdays are pretty much long days where I wake up at 5 a.m. I do a 5-mile run, 4 to 5 miles, depending on how I feel. Then at 8:30, I do my strength and conditioning session. Strength and conditioning trainer Charles from 8:30 to 10 in the morning. And that's when I'll have breakfast after that. And then around 2:30, I do my boxing session with Freddie Roach at the Wildcard Gym. And then I finish around 4:30. So we wake up early from 5 in the morning to 4:30, and then at 4:30 I go straight to what's called a cryotherapy to do a little bit of recovery there, and then I'll come back and just and relax for the rest of the day. But yeah, going to your question of sparring Manny Pacquiao, I went over 57 rounds with him on this last camp. And then I sparred with him. The first time I sparred with him was about 2 years ago in Jensen. And I did a lot of, I became a whole different fighter from the first time I sparred with him to now. But it's always an experience. Manny Pacquiao, he's so athletic. He works so hard. He has tremendous heart. And this time, this time that I was sparring with him is, I felt like, he showed me, why he's been a champion, because, I have a good left hook to the body, and I landed my left hook to the body against Miguel Cotto. I landed a good left hand to the body against upcoming prospects and Jorge Linares and stuff like that. And they all feel it. And I landed my first good, body shot at Pacquiao, because he's pretty hard to, work in the inside. So I found a good body shot where I know I landed a good body shot, but he just had too much pride to him, even take a knee or pretend that he was hurt. So I thought that that I hurt him, but he was he showed that he's even though he's in his late career, he's that he's that great of a champion, that he has tremendous heart, and it doesn't matter what comes after him. He could take care and go through that adversity. That kind of motivates me as a young fighter to work on it. And when I'm moving forward in my career, every time I face adversity, those are the experiences that make me a better fighter.
Jose, this is Matt, the producer of the Boxing Voice. Glad to have you on. How does it feel as a Hispanic to headline a card on Unimas on Cinco de Mayo weekend? That's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely it is. Cinco de Mayo is when Mexico beat the French in a battle in Puebla, Mexico, and they were the underdogs. They didn't have the weapons that the French did. They didn't have the tools. They didn't have the plans that the French did at the time. But they won the battle because they showed tremendous heart, tremendous leadership. Everybody was united in that battle. So I think fighting May 5th for me as a coming from a Mexican family kind of motivates me, and I'm more than honored to go and showcase showcase my talent and demonstrate to the people how big our hearts are, and our determination to win. And I think that's why I'm so inspired to fight May 5th, is because of I want to demonstrate to the people once again how strong the Mexican blood is, and and how big our determination is to win.
Hey, Jose, so this is Steven Kellner on one of the other producers of the show. So you do have that big fight coming up on May 5th, and you're actually really, really closing in on what looks like a possible title shot. You are ranked, I believe, 5th by the WBC, if I'm not mistaken. Do you feel like you've kind of gathered enough experience so far? You do still have a young career. You don't even have 20 fights yet. If a title shot were to come to you by the end of this year, do you feel you'd be ready?
First of all, I respect the lane I stand in, and my career, and my promoted Top Rank, my whole team, the way they've been doing my career. But I feel like it's hard to say if I'm ready or not, because I feel like I haven't even faced that opposition that allows me to see if I'm ready for a world title. I feel that I've been ready to face that opposition since last year. But it just, it's all the Top Rank, and I think, once they start putting those big names in front of me, I think I will meet up to the challenge, and I will demonstrate my full potential as a fighter, and then fight for a world title. I know what I could do, because what I've done in the gym against all the best fighters, and becoming an Olympian. I have great experience to be able to adjust and adapt to different styles, not just one style. And sometimes when the opposition is not tough enough, and you kind of just go through them, and now you're not able to show what you could really do, as far as mixing it up, changing your pants, adapting, and boxing, showing some boxing skills. Sometimes you just want to go in there and knock them out. So I feel that if Top Rank allows me to give me those names that I need, say August 4th, September, or whatever, whenever my fights after May 5th is, then I think I could be ready for a world title by the end of the year, somewhere in December. I just want to really fight the best 140, or at least prospects or former world champions, or what I mean is champions that were champions once, and they lost the title now. Someone like that, where I could kind of draw a better picture, not just for myself, but for the fans and for everybody in the boxing world.
Jose, how you doing? Nestor Gibbs here. I want to ask you, do you think that it's time you get on the HBO Latino, maybe Showtime, Showbox, HBO After Dark, or are you good on the Unima Solo Boxeo? I mean, I know that you're a big draw. I know the last time in Save Mart you had like 13,500. But don't you think that some U.S. television cameras should be seeing all those people that you're drawing there?
That's exactly what I want. It's to be on HBO Latino. I started co-promoting shows with Thurman since my 6th professional fight, so that we take care of. And Fresno, it's pretty much just my manager Rick Regan and myself that do all the promoting, and the fights kind of sell because of the of other fans and what I'm behind with when it comes in Central California. So I think if we're able to bring HBO Latino or to the area, and broadcast a fight, I think it's going to benefit me in my career, and definitely I'll be able to showcase what I do and who I am as a person to the rest of the world, the rest of the boxing fans that don't see Unimas. I will hope I get the opportunity to bring those type of networks to Central California or be in those networks, so I could demonstrate my whole character and my boxing skills. So yes, that's what I hope I'll be I'll be getting or fighting on in the near future.
Jose, obviously you want a title shot in the near future, but most people don't know that you fought a world champion right now in the amateurs in Vasily Lomachenko in 2011. What was it like fighting a guy that received so much hype in Vasily Lomachenko, and what do you think of his pro career so far?
I think he's a tremendous fighter. He's an excellent fighter. Most people, it's hard to explain. His style. He uses very good angles. He uses very good angles and he's always in balance. Being a southpaw, he's always in balance, and when he's using his angles, and that's why he's able to counter your punches or time you really well. And that's something that I feel he's improved in his professional career. His timing. But yeah, man, it was an honor for me to fight someone like him. He was a lot older than I was. I was only maybe 18 years old, 19 years old when I fought him. I was still young 132 pounder. I wasn't full developed like I am now, but I gave him a good fight, and I got a lot of respect in the amateurs from that fight, from not from my USA teammates, but from different fighters from all over the world, because I'm the type of guy who my family doesn't box. We just follow Chavez Sr., Oscar De La Hoya when he fought Tito Trinidad. We used to get together. So with that said, I don't really care or to know the background of a fighter. So when I went in there fighting Vasily Lomachenko without knowing how good he was. I just went in there and tried to do my thing. After the fight, then I realized he was at the time almost 200 something and one loss or whatever his record was at the time. But I guess everyone feared him. But I didn't. I went in there and I was still, thing about USA boxing is during that time, during that period, we lacked on a lot of international tournaments. We didn't really go international to fight often, so we were very inexperienced when it came to international experiences, fighting international. So that was one of my few international tournaments that I had, and in the U.S. men's category. So, but it was a good experience. I think it was a very close fight. I put a lot of pressure on him the second and third round. But I don't know if you guys seen it. That might be on YouTube.
So, Jose, so you're going to be coming off of a 5-month layoff. I'm looking through your record and I haven't seen a layoff that long before. Is there a reason why you've taken so much time off?
I started training in January, the second week of January. I only took a month off from my December fight, and and I started training with Freddie and them, and just waiting for an opportunity. I was hoping to fight in April, and but there was just no fight until the May 5th bout came. Then I kind of got back to training mode, but I've been training since January something. I didn't step it up until when I knew I had a date. And that's what happened, is that it was just Top Rank didn't have nothing signed, nothing nothing in place yet for the future besides a couple, besides one fight I think that they had on which was they're only doing 2 fights, and then which is Oscar Valdez and Gilberto Ramirez. Besides that, they didn't have.
Jose, did we lose you?
But go ahead. I'm sorry. So
yeah, we seem to have lost you just for a little bit, but I wanted to say I'm looking here, and you're ranked about in the 20s in the world, but there are some very interesting names ranked below you that would make for some very good television fights. Fighters that have already been on HBO and Showtime. I mean, guys like Anthony Peterson, guys like Maurice Hooker, Mike Reed, Regis Progras, Mario Barrios. I mean, you're ranked above all those guys, but they have gotten a lot more U.S. television time than you. Are those some names that you're interested in, or since they're ranked behind you, are you looking forward? Even Richard Abreu, you're ranked ahead of Richard Abreu.
Yeah, I really don't know how the rankings go, and I don't really pay attention to all that stuff. Honestly, I try to stay focused, and my goal is to become a world champion. So it's either you're first or you're not. That's kind of the way I took things throughout my whole life. But yeah, man, those are definitely some good names. Like all those names that you mentioned, I think those are fights that I'll take any time. And moving, and guys who are ranked higher than me, there's a lot.
Hey, Jose, you still there?
He's going through some dead spots.
Dang, you know what? It's kind of a shame that Brandon Rios is no longer with Top Rank, because I feel like a few months ago that would have been a really good fight to make with him, because
Brandon Rios can make 140.
Yeah, he can't make 140.
Come on.
He might have been able to, and he was
there.
In the division.
Pedazo de monster.
Here, I'm trying to get Remy back on.
All right.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
So in the meantime, how about them Dodgers?
Dodgers suck, man. Go Angels.
Anyways, I really wanted to ask him, because he's 5'10.5", and he's so much taller than most of the guys in his division, if he had any good advice for Matt being slightly taller than me, just to find ways to maybe stay away from me and avoid pretty much being touched by anything.
Don't you worry.
I'm worried that I'm gonna exhale, and you're gonna be like, oh.
I mean, exhale.
Yo, he should be axing. I mean, he has shared the ring with Manny Pacquiao. You should see what you can get.
Monster says they're back on, so we should try to bring it back on.
She's there. She's got on mute.
Monster, are you there? If you're on mute, Monster.
He's here.
Awesome. Jose, are you there as well?
Driving through those dead spots in Fresno?
Yeah. No, I'm in LA right now, so there was some winds going, so yeah.
So I mean, go ahead, Matt.
Jose, you did mention, I believe, on an earlier article and on this interview that, you know, a title fight or a belt is what you really want. I believe I even saw in an interview you said by the end of the year. Is there a champion on your mind in your target that you want to fight this year? Is it the Ricky Burns, Julius Ndongo winner, or are you going to go after your top-ranked stablemate in Terence Crawford?
You know, my ultimate goal is to definitely become the WBC champion, and you know, probably hold the belts. But you know, Terence Crawford is is a fighter that because he's from Top Rank, I don't know if Top Rank will make that happen until, you know, I became a much bigger of a name, and then you know, then fight Terence Crawford. I sparred some guys that he beat before, and I definitely feel confident that I'm, you know, on that level to face someone like Terence Crawford. But because of the business side of it, I don't know if it's realistic to fight him by the end of the year. But I would definitely fight Ricky Burns or the who's the guy he's fighting?
Julius Ndongo.
Ricky Burns, Julius Ndongo, yeah, who upsetted the Russians. So those type of guys are guys who I would like to fight after, you know, before the year ends, and become a world champion, make a bigger name of myself, and then get those Terence Crawford fights and all those big name fights, and then probably move to the welterweight division at 147 and see how I do there.
Well, Jose, man, we want to thank you, obviously, for giving us the opportunity to interview you, man. Always a pleasure to have you on. We want to thank you, obviously, and applaud you for what you're doing in your hometown with the water. And if you have any social media, please give it out at this time in case anyone isn't following you, they can do so.
Yeah, well, no, thank you guys again for having me on the show, and I'm sorry about the connection. But yeah, I want to thank everyone who's listening, everyone who supports me, and you guys can follow me at my Instagram account at JC Ramirez 2012, or you can follow me at my Facebook page at Jose Ramirez Boxing, and Twitter Jose Ramirez Boxing. So those are my social media pages that I have, and thank you guys once again for allowing me to be on the show.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Monster Beast, thank you. Notify Steven when ready. Going back to Muhammad. Talk to us.
Yeah, like I was saying, I'm surprised that you're surprised of the Pacquiao situation, because he never fought anybody coming off a big win, let alone 2 big wins in a row. He always does that, fighting somebody coming off a loss or a catch weight, or somebody who's not used to the weight class like Brandon Rios. So that's just bullshit. You know, talking about throwing, you know, I read something about, what's his name? Freddie Roach saying that he would love the Pacquiao, Thurman fight. That's bullshit. That fight will never happen, because Pacquiao has no chance whatsoever against Thurman. He cannot hurt Thurman. Thurman can hurt him. Thurman is a smart fighter. He can outbox him. So that's just bullshit. It's just double standards, you know. You know, everybody's giving him a pass for the Jeff Horn fight. That's some bullshit fight. They will not do even 100,000 buys if they put it on pay-per-view. Pacquiao is not backed by HBO anymore, because his purpose was to defeat Mayweather. He did not do that, so that's why HBO backed off on him. Just like, what's his name? Kovalev. His purpose was to defeat Andre Ward. He might have another shot. After that, they will let him down. That's what they do. And I'm also pissed at ESPN, because how are you going to put Triple G ahead of Andre Ward on the pound per pound list? Andre Ward moved up a division, and he fought the monster, everybody, the fighter that everybody is fearing. And he was in trouble in the beginning of the fight, and yet he adjusted and he flipped the script. That right
You're
there
serious? You're serious?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's just, you know, it's just a double standard. That's what pissing me off. That's my call, man.
All right, Muhammad. Thank you for calling in. We're going to Josh. Mairis in the chat. What up?
Well, I have to agree with Muhammad. Yeah, this is bullshit. Like Pacquiao, we should just not even support him anymore. Everybody just stream all his fights, and then maybe they'll get the point that we don't want to see him fight bullshit fighters. So is this going to be pay-per-view here in the States, or is like what, HBO?
We don't know.
Unless Arum is gonna let HBO put it on here for free, because HBO ain't gonna do this as no pay-per-view.
Pacquiao is too much of a guarantee to put it on free TV.
Yeah, but who's gonna do the? It's gonna be another top-ranked pay-per-view.
Could be
top rank only.
The reports are that Jesse Vargas versus Manny Pacquiao did about 300,000. Sorry.
No, it's okay, Steven. No, I was gonna say that it seems like Top Rank is doing their own pay-per-views now, so nobody's fucking with them. I think because HBO they don't want Pacquiao, so now they have to put on their own pay-per-views.
Well, let me ask you this: so Vargas versus Pacquiao does 300,000. About does Jesse Vargas have a country behind him, and do you think Jeff Horn would have his country behind him in terms of pay-per-view numbers?
Well, it'd be different because Australia is not.
Australia. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it does better in Australia than it does here, because maybe everyone will back their Jeff Horn, but it won't do good over here, I think. And yeah, man, and also I just I want to make a bet with Given Quality in the chat. I don't know if he calls in so we can make it official. He was betting me $25 that Spence is gonna beat Brook.
Dude, so, that dude's never called in, bro. He's a ghost. He's a ghost.
And take a sure thing, bro. Get me over Matt. You know you'll get your money back.
Yeah, I got you, Steven. I got you, Steven. Don't worry. But yeah, man, I'm just calling in. I gave him my Venmo, so if he wants to Venmo me that money when Brook beats Spence, so.
Dude, he's a ghost, man. You're talking to a ghost. He's never called in the show.
All right, man. But that's my call.
All right. Those guys in the chat. They ghosts, man. They don't show up. They don't show up. You know what I mean? Like now, this guy. Everybody knows this guy right here. As soon as you hear this,
ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
And no, I know you ain't snoring in there.
We need to have our own like truck horn soundbite to blast in his ear to wake him up.
Falling asleep. Hey, man, truck job is life. 718 New York City. Who's this? 718 New York City. 718-678. 718-678 New York City.
Yo, hello?
Yes, hello.
That's me. Hello?
That is you.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, it's a new call. Sorry, man. I'm all right, yo.
Relax. First time calling in, my friend?
Yes, my man. From Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, hold up. How long have you been listening? Got a series of questions we like to ask our first time callers.
Couple months.
All right. So the tradition around here is to play this first time caller intro, and you come out like you're Keith Thurman trying to take this last title from Manny Pacquiao, who seems to be ducking. All right. You ready?
So, no, ain't no ducking. No ducking.
Well, you're gonna have to let us know that in your call.
Right now,
you're gonna have to let us know that in your call.
I need to just get to the point, man.
Here we go.
I need to get to the point, yo.
We need a name.
Yo.
We need a name in the place.
Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Rashid
from?
I just need to get to the point, man. That's Brooklyn, New York. Yo.
Brooklyn, New York. All right. Go for it.
Right. Crown Heights. Yeah. I want to ask you a question. this Bob Arum, right? Didn't he go on YouTube and say that he don't like unification? I'm just asking that question. Did he come out and say that?
I don't know.
I saw that on YouTube. That
Possibility.
He didn't. No. I saw that Bob saying he don't want no unification. He don't think that's a big deal or whatever. And then this thing about Pacquiao saying that who wants to fight him. Then he put some thing about let the fans vote. So you can already see there's a discrepancy between the promoter and the fighter. You know, putting that out. I mean, it shows right there that he didn't want to fight, but he took it. He had to take it. Bob Arum wants what he wants, yo. That's what it is. Basically, that's what he wants. It's not. I don't believe it's Pacquiao's fault, yo. Honestly, it's not Pacquiao's fault at all. And for you to say something about, oh, who's this guy, Jeff Horn? Hey, Jeff Horn, I watched him fight, yo. Okay, he might be not a nobody, but he's somewhere if he's on the chart, yo. Basically, right now. So I'm saying to myself, listen, it doesn't make any sense here. It's not Pacquiao's fault that it's going in the direction this way. I think Bob Arum said, listen, take this fight, and you're going to get the fight with Keith. That's how I feel, because I never see Pacquiao ducking nobody else. I don't see him ducking nobody else. And at this point of age, you say he's old. I keep seeing the same argument. He's old. When's the last time he knocked somebody out? Yeah, the last time he knocked somebody out was Diaz and Hatton, and that was about it. Yeah, but right now he's still knocking people down. Instead of knocking people out, he's knocking people down. He's lumping people up faces. I mean, the man still got it, even if he went down a notch. Your biological and your chronicle age is two different things. I'm telling you right now. Even though he dropped a notch, he still got it. And that man, I hate when people hear, oh, he needs to retire. No, let one of these young lions make him retire. I don't want him just relinquish his belt.
Keith Thurman is the young lion that he's ducking. Keith Thurman is the young lion that he's ducking.
Pacquiao is not ducking. He's not. Pacquiao is not ducking. Let me tell you, Pacquiao is not ducking. Pacquiao is not ducking. He's doing what his promoter says to do. That's what he's doing.
Which is ducking.
We both know that no. What happens? His promoter is giving him a hard time, yeah, basically. Because if you go and say, ask the fans, who's going to vote? Who do you vote? Is it going to be Crawford? Is it going to be Khan? Or so-and-so, whatever? And the fans are saying, I want this. And he's making a fight outside of Bob Arum. And then Bob Arum comes on YouTube talking about, I don't think unification is the best thing. I saw that. I swear to God, I saw that. It's on YouTube. You can see it yourself. He said it himself. And then guess
Rashid, that is your minute, brother. Thank you for calling in. We hope to hear from you again, Rashid from Brooklyn.
That was actually 3 minutes. And I did a quick search to see if I could find that video. I definitely do see articles with links to videos and quoting Arum saying that he was disgusted by those unifications. No. I'm just saying what he said was true. Listen, Bob Arum has put it out there that he's not interested in a unification.
Not excusing the duck. It's just saying
what Arum says doesn't matter because the fighter is in charge. The promoter works for the fighter. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. You know how Pacquiao's career is. You know it's not exactly like that.
And that's what I want the world to realize. I want them to realize. So it is a duck. You can't. How long are you gonna be blaming Bob Arum? Come on. You guys got to wake up, man. We're going to go to Ali and Dago.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
We're good. What's your thoughts on the situation?
Look, man, I have to agree with like Matt said earlier in the show, man. To me, it has a lot to do with Michael Kahn. I think Michael Kahn has more control than Bob Arum because that's Pacquiao's advisor. And I just think like Michael Kahn ain't really trying to put Pacquiao in nothing dangerous. He just wants Pacquiao to, earn some money and go out on top. And it's just, it's about Manny Pacquiao, growing some balls and saying, fuck that shit. He needs to fight the best. I mean, Keith Thurman, this fight, should happen because it's at a perfect time. Keith Thurman's coming off of the Danny Garcia fight. The Pacquiao Khan fight fell out. So it's like, this is the fight that's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? And like fighting Jeff Horn, in my opinion, it's very disrespectful because Bob Arum, he hears what's going on in the media. He knows what the fans are saying. He knows nobody wants to see this fight, but he's still trying to find a way to make the fight happen. And that's what annoys me with fights with promoters like this. Like, you know, we don't want to see these fights. They know we don't. But they're still trying to figure ways to make these fights happen that people don't want to see. And it's just very annoying, man. You know what I mean? And but, you know, like I said, man, the Keith Thurman fight should happen. If you're hearing this, Bob Arum, Ali from Dago, and saying we don't want the Jeff Horn fight, give us that Keith Thurman Pacquiao fight to get closer to unifications for all the belts at 147. That's my call.
All right, Ali from Dago, thanks for calling in. Let's get to
we have Dempsey on the line.
Ringer. Dempsey, talk to us, brother.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
The Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn, I gotta say, man, I'm doing good. But I do gotta say, man, I don't like this fight. I really don't. You know, I think Manny should be doing his best to try to cash out, and let's fight the best fighters out there right now. And Keith Thurman's the best fighter available. This is Jeff Horn shit. No disrespect to Jeff Horn, but fucking Top Rank and Michael Kant, they're fucking wasting our time with this fucking bullshit. They really are. And if anybody even gets behind this and supports this, no disrespect to you guys, but fuck you too. Seriously, we can't fucking allow this kind of shit to happen. And if we watching it allows that kind of shit to continue to happen. So if that shit gets made, don't fucking watch it. Don't stream it. Don't even fucking acknowledge it. Don't even fucking promote it. You know, it's fucking bullshit. It really is. What we should be seeing is a Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman, or a Pacquiao versus a Crawford, or a Pacquiao. And we need a fucking big name fight versus a big name fight. Pacquiao's at the end of his career, and if Michael Kant keeps fucking pulling this fucking bullshit, I ain't fucking wasting my time supporting Pacquiao's career anymore. I'm not. And I'm out.
That was an amazing call. I love the passion. That's what the Boxing Voice is about. That's where you get your frustrations out. That's where you talk boxing. I love it. That was amazing. Everybody, if you're watching, and I know you are, hit the thumbs up button, man. This is great content. You know, there's a lot of good jabbing going on here. You know, me and Matt, we're throwing jabs at each other. Dempsey coming out here throwing jabs at old man Arum. It's good. It's lively. What more could you ask for?
Let's get to my boy Alex Lemon. Alex, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, man, great interview with Jose Ramirez. I want to thank you guys for bringing him on, and thank Monster Piece for doing the legwork. I just want to say, literally when I was listening to the show driving, I passed 3 billboards, man. I didn't even know they were up. That's how big he is over here in Central California, California period, for what he does for the fight for water. Agriculture is really big in California. Safe Mart Center, the last 2 Decembers, Jose Ramirez had over 13,000 in attendance. Both Decembers was 13,120 and then 13,700. I mean, those are big numbers. I mean, Danny Garcia doing like 14,000 in the Barclays. I mean, how many is he doing? I mean, these numbers are big.
No, you're right. You're right. Just to bring it into perspective, how big those numbers is. Danny's biggest fight before Thurman was 13,000. So you're right. Those are big numbers.
Yeah,
but
but
with the Thurman fight, they made 16,533.
Right. I mean, that was a unification fight. It was big. I mean, I would love to see. Jose Ramirez does have a title, and if we get him against a big title and a big name, I want to see what kind of crowd he draws in on that one. But so anyone needs to check him out for that. Second, the Thurman. I like that he's calling out Pacquiao, man, but it seems like it's like 2 days too late or something. Like he needed to do this sooner. You stop negotiations if Top Rank is negotiating with Jeff Horn, I mean, they're supposed to just stop now because now Keith Thurman said he's ready.
You better not.
I mean, that's the best fight, of course.
You better not duck me, son.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. We finally have Keith Thurman back. I mean, I haven't heard him talk like that since before he went MIA, before the whole car accident and everything. So that's good. That's about all I got, man. Hey, great show.
Alex.
You guys got something for me?
I got something for you. Thank you for doing such a great job over there on the Instagram, my friend. I'm glad you got that. You received that TBV swag. And we're going to get to some other callers.
Very quickly, though, because we haven't done this fact, just facts right now. Who is ranked in the WBO? Just doing like the top 5, top 10.
Oh, boy. Look at this guy looking for wiggle room for Pacquiao. You're going to wait.
I'm not looking for wiggle room at all. Hold on. You don't know what I'm about to say. You don't know what I'm about to say. You have Timothy Bradley ranked number 1, obviously behind the champion Manny Pacquiao. Jeff Horn, number 2. Jesse Vargas, number 3. Earl Spence, number 4. Bradley Skeet, number 5. What has Jeff Horn done to deserve that ranking? Abso-fucking-lutely nothing.
No, but why are you presenting more facts of what we already know? That's why we're saying it's a duck.
Just
it's delusional people that are saying it's not a duck. This is why we're calling it a duck, because this guy's coming out of nowhere. Like, at least Arum could do it the old-fashioned way, which is, you know, put Jeff Horn on a Pacquiao undercard and introduce him to us. Nah, he doesn't even want to do that. Introduce for what? Instead, he's not even taking us on a date.
Like Jeff Horn versus Jesse Vargas is an acceptable fight.
Yeah, let's introduce him that way. But speaking of introductions,
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother.
Yo, y'all have a lot of great callers on this show, but you know it ain't no fucking show without Info Joe. What's up, boxing boys? Yo, check this out. Ness, I agree with you 100%. It is a duck. I was hoping Pac and Floyd would just stay retired. They both have nothing to prove. Let the young lions shine and fight each other. But since they're not retired, pass the fucking torch. I hate the Pac versus Jeff Horn fight. I hate the Floyd McGregor fight even more. I hate when Floyd says Danny and Thurman are no competition, but he says McGregor is competition. Real fuckboy shit. And I don't want to hear all this fanboy shit. They can do whatever they want. It's Floyd and Pac. They can do whatever they want. I'm a fan of the sport of boxing first, then the fighters. Whatever's going to make the sport grow more. Pass the torch, these suckers. Both of them. I'm going to shit on both of them. And I'm going to stream both of their fights. They're both milking it, and they should be passing the torch to the young lions so we would have something in every other sport. That's what happens. They pass the torch to the next best basketball team, the next best football team. But don't go backwards, that far backwards, for him to fight McGregor, a guy that's even had one pro fight before, and Jeff Horn, a guy that we haven't even fucking heard of before. I never even seen the guy fight, and I'm not going to YouTube him either. If he ain't made it on TV this far for me to see, he does not deserve to be fighting Pacquiao. That's my call. Peace, gentlemen. Hit those thumbs up. Become a Patreon. You listening to the #1 podcast in the whole fucking world, The Boxing Voice. Ain't no site in the game can see The Boxing Voice. Peace.
Joe, thank you as always. Joe, you need to head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/Border Wars and sign up so you can be in the corner with your fighter. We're going to Marcus in Cleveland. Talk to us.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
You're live, Marcus.
Yeah, I gotta agree with your last caller, man. That motherfucker had a good-ass point. Why the fuck are these motherfuckers not looking to fight Thurman? And hold on. Thurman been calling out Floyd and Pacquiao before Floyd was retired. And I'm a big Pacquiao fan. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching since Ever since Pacquiao fought Ladwaba, I've never seen Pac duck anybody. And I'm not gonna lie, you got 2 goddamn belts, Thurman. And I'm of this generation, I'm a Thurman fan right now. He's very impressive. He's a great boxer, and he has some good power. He can knock you out. I don't know what happened with Garcia, but man, I'm gonna say one thing, man. Garcia got a motherfucking chin, cause that first round, I thought he was gonna go down. Even when they showed it in slow motion, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, Thurman got some power, and I don't see how he didn't drop Garcia, but I think he could knock. I think he can knock Pacquiao out.
That's all I want to see.
Beat Pacquiao. Y'all know, yeah. Huh?
That's all I want to see. Is it gonna happen?
Y'all need to stop saying Floyd beat Pacquiao. All right? Y'all know goddamn well Pac whipped Floyd's ass. Stop saying that shit.
No, Floyd beat Pacquiao.
Floyd. Yeah. Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen Pac duck nobody, but you know what? He's ducking Thurman. And you know what? I don't think y'all not giving Bradley no credit. I think Bradley's a good ass fighter for real. He gave Pac some good fights, and I mean a lot of motherfuckers is blowing down like, oh, he fought Bradley. Who was Bradley? I mean,
nah, we're not doing it like that. We're not looking down. We just tired of that. They already had like 3 fights, bro. We tired of Top Rank giving us recycled fights. That's all. Like, yo, Bradley had his time with Pacquiao, and he ain't getting no win. It's time to move on.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But I'm not gonna lie. I mean, my favorite fighter right now is Thurman, and you got 2 belts and you're ranked number 2. And I was listening to your dude just talking about the ranking. I saw my ranking. I seen Pac ranked number 1 and Thurman ranked number 2.
I was talking about the WBO rankings, not like the overall landscape of the division.
Oh, I see. What's that website called?
You can just look up like WBO.com, like they have their whole, or WBO.org. I don't know what it is. They have the whole rankings. Just type in WBO rankings on Google.
If you know like I know, you should lie low. I used to get it in Ohio.
J. Will. J. Will. All right. Making my job. 678. That look like Milkman. You dropping the ball, Steven? Milkman, as you? 678.
Alonzo Hunt.
678.
Alonzo Hunt.
Alonzo Hunt?
Alonzo Hunt.
Alonzo Hunt?
Yeah, Alonzo Hunt.
Alonzo Hunt from where?
From Atlanta. What's up?
From Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Alonzo in Atlanta.
You know
talk to us, brother.
Man, you know how long I've been on the phone, bro? I've been on the phone for 3 hours trying to get to y'all. I'm a new caller. You did. And I've been watching boxing. I got videos up.
Whoa. You're a new caller. First time calling in?
Yeah. You know it.
So how'd you find us? How'd you find us?
You gotta give me a 10 talk. Oh, I've been watching your show since back when Keith Thurman and Diego Chavez fought.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I'm a Thurman Nation fan, you know.
All right, so you know that we have a tradition.
Fan,
you know we have a tradition around here, so we got to play this first time caller intro. You got to introduce yourself, and then you come out and you give us your call.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
What time? Thurman! You know it. But anyway, hey man, I've been trying to get on this thing for a minute. Ernest, I agree with you 100. It's a duck. Pacquiao's pussy. Simple as that. He fought great back in his time, but he don't want to see Thurman because Thurman's an awkward puncher. He leans from different sides, and he can throw his hands at any time, and he don't want to see that man, bro. I've been saying this forever. I make videos on YouTube. Check me out, if you want to. But at the end of the day, I'm on the phone, Boxing Nation. Man, listen. Thurman is a go-getter, man, and he's been calling out Pacquiao like forever. You know what I mean? He called Pacquiao way back when, and everybody acts like they don't know when he called them out. I'm tired of the bullshit. I like when Demetrius Andrade called out when he went to Charlo and said, "Look, when can we make the fight?" That Thurman been doing that. He like when he went to Paulie Malignaggi press conference. He asked him, "What's up, man? What you want to do?" And Paulie Malignaggi said, "Oh, you're not paying enough money. You don't get enough money. I'm not gonna get enough money for your fight." But he got knocked out by Sean Porter, and he didn't get that much money for that fight. But at the end of the day, like I said, Keith Thurman is the truth, and he will be the future undisputed champ. And Pacquiao is running because he knows, first of all, fuck Bob Arum because he's garbage. And he don't want to make the true fight that's going to get people noticed. You see, at the end of the day, because Pacquiao's done. He's basically done. You know what I mean? Jeff Horn, who the fuck is that? Nobody knows who the fuck Jeff Horn is. I'm just now hearing about this guy. He was supposed to fight Earl Spence because everybody thought Kell Brook was going to vacate at and go to 154. But Kell Brook's a bitch. Look at how many things he backed out of when he was at the mandatories. He backed out of so many fights. Diego Chavez. I mean, we can go down the list. But at the end of the day, bro, I agree with you, Ness, and they hating your co-producers because at the end of the day, everybody knows Thurman is a threat. He's been calling people out since what, 2010, 2011, and I've been screaming on my channel like, please fight Thurman. Like he's been calling folks out forever, like And at the end of the day, you know what I mean? There's nobody that can see Thurman because he's an awkward puncher. I've been saying that for years. He hit people from angles that they don't see. That's why Danny Garcia couldn't really see Thurman. He was looking like he was confused in the fight because at the times when he was throwing them punches from the left, boom, Danny Garcia was like, "Oh, what do I do next? Do I come with the right or do I come with the left?"
Alonzo, that is your round. I want to thank you for obviously coming on here for the first time and gracing us with the airwaves. We're going to get you down, so you're more than welcome to call back. We're going to go to Mike Jerry. Mike Jerry, where are you calling in from? 760. What is that? I'm so horrible with these area codes. Mike Jerry. Luke Skywalker. Dark Vader.
Yeah. Yo.
Mike Jerry.
Hello?
Hey, Mike, we hear you, man. Where are you from, Mike?
Sounding like Dark Vader over there.
Oh, nah, man. I just got done training, man. I'm in Quantico right now, man. I'm a Marine.
You're
right. He's deployed.
Man.
What?
He's deployed.
Oh, he's deployed.
Yeah, he's a Marine.
No. Yeah, I'm a Marine, but I'm at Quantico.
Oh, okay.
I just got off of duty. Yeah. But, man, like I was saying, man, the famous phrase, man, united we stand, divided we fall, man. And I agree with Ness, man. 2017 has been great. It's been great when it comes to fights and that stuff like that. Jeff Horn, Manny Pacquiao, it's unacceptable, man. With everything that's going on in the world and that stuff like that, we haven't heard or haven't seen of Jeff Horn and that stuff. And us as boxing fans, man, we got to stick together, man. We don't want to see that crap, man. We want to see Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao. That's just going to bring more excitement, more exposure to the sport of boxing. And we're going and then it's going to bring more paydays to these fighters to get inside the ring and make more bigger fights and that stuff like that. I think him fighting Jeff Horn is going to hinder the sport. Him being the global ambassador that he is, that's not going to do anything for boxing. And, yeah, that's my call right there, fellas. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Mike Jerry. Hey, I want to know what the world's going to do when Thurman fights Algeria. Are they going to get mad then?
Hell yeah, they should.
Yeah, oh, they should. Well, it's Pacquiao's fault. El Dude, what's going on?
Yo, what's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
El Dude in the house?
El Dude in the house.
Am I on El Dude?
Yeah,
what's up, fellas? What's up? Yeah, California. Sorry about that, man. I'm curious. I'm part of my lunch, but real quick. Yo, man. Just throw my 2 punches in real quick. Keith Thurman, he's getting ducked by Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, all he needed to do was just say, you know what, man? I need a tune-up fight right before I fight Keith Thurman, and that would have been, hey, dude, put him fucking Jeff Horn. You know, throw a fucking tune-up for Jeff Horn, preparing for Keith Thurman. That'll be the fight right there, huh? A tune-up fight. There's nothing wrong with a tune-up fight if we know you're going to fight someone great like Keith Thurman. And in my opinion, Keith Thurman has the keys to victory. He's the future of boxing. And Keith Thurman, in my opinion, will TKO or take Manny Pacquiao in the late 12th round. That's what I'm saying. He'll do it in house. I know there's a lot of callers. Enjoying the show like always. Good luck. And I'm here to support him.
El Dude, great call, brother. Great call. Thank you, obviously, for calling in. You know,
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
Tony in Albany, talk to me.
What's going on?
What up?
Hello. Not much up, but enough with the negative shit. Like the negative shit going on, man, with Pacquiao, man. If there's somebody out there that we got to talk about and that's doing the right thing, fucking Terence Crawford. You know, him and Bob Arum are doing a smart move. This dude could go everywhere in New York City. Go to a fucking Knicks game, get promoted. Go to fucking Sway in the morning and talk your shit. You know, go to the Breakfast Club and talk your shit. And he can just make a dick from there. Yo, he's doing the right move. What do you think? You guys haven't been talking about Crawford lately.
No, I think you're.
Oh. Unfair. We totally spoke about Crawford. He's our third topic today. We had 5 key topics, and he was the third discussed.
And your points about it being New York and being a more media capital and all the opportunities he has on Breakfast Club and etc. You are 100%
already. So I don't know.
I just got up, but
you hopped on late. So look. Take that.
All right, so before I go, Pacquiao real quick. You know, this seems like you who keep Pacquiao in the fucking limelight right now. You guys he's about to retire. You guys are still talking about him. You know, who gives a shit who he fights next? You know, if it's Jeff Horn and if he retires, let it be. You know, he's just like fucking Cotto who has to go. This is Floyd, you know what I'm saying? And also, before I let you go, so Ned, I'm giving you a bet right now on the phone and I'm live in front of everybody right now, all ears. I'm going with fucking Mario by knockout against Enrique. And if I win, give me 2 shirts. If I lose, I buy 2 shirts.
Yo, I'm gonna take that bet. I'm gonna take that bet because there's absolutely no way that Enrique
90 seconds.
That Enrique gets
Mario,
knocked out.
If you're listening right now, you need to go to the fucking body, straight body. He's all jelly down there. I'm telling you, man. So if that's the bet right now, I'm in on that.
So you think Mario's gonna stop him to the body?
Yo, he needs to go to the body. I'm telling you, man. After all those videos, it's all in front of our eyes, man. Come on, man. It's easy work.
Yo, we're gonna open up the betting line, Antonio. Yo, did you? You ain't getting that in the mail yet?
Oh yeah, you got that shit today. The white one. Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
The next one. It's the next one too. Thank you so much, man.
No problem.
Nah, but yo, before I go, also, Kel Brook knocking out Spence. I'm out.
All right. Yeah, he got that new TBV shirt. That's that new one. That white one is nice, man. I got a few of those. Nice fit. Very nice fit. Let's get he's waiting for a shirt. He actually wants a one-time Keith Thurman shirt, but those exclusive, those are the unification bout shirt, Steven. The one that he and his team wore the day that they defeated Danny Garcia. Only Keith Thurman and Ness from the Boxing Voice have those. I have a whole box over here. My boy Compa from Los Angeles want one. I don't know. I got to see. I don't know if we got extra large, Compa.
Boxing Boy? What up, Boxing Boys? Hey, good looking out on this. I'll take a large deal if anything. But man, that'll be a badass fight. Pacquiao versus Thurman. What we should be talking about is how come Thurman is letting McGregor take a Floyd fight. I mean, that's Thurman's fight right there. You know, he should be all over social media calling out Floyd. And man, only if he had that Shannon Briggs personality, man, like just fucking go chase Floyd down, man, to fight him. What do you guys think?
Thurman has a personality and he uses it really well, but he doesn't use it to chase people down. It's very, he can be loud and he could be, you know, in your face, but it's never really, he doesn't really provoke people. It's you can tell he's a showman and he knows when to turn it on, when to turn it off. I like the idea of him calling out a Floyd Mayweather though, because he could definitely say, look, I got the belts you had. I have the WBC. I have the WBA. I'm the unified guy. Man. The same ones you had. Come see me.
Floyd don't care though, man. You know that. Floyd doesn't care about his legacy.
Thurman doesn't represent enough money to draw Floyd back, but Thurman is an active fighter and Manny is an active fighter.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. That's why you should come out of his shell and fucking promote the fight. Tell him, hey, what's up, Floyd? Let's do it. Why are you over there trying to fight an easy fight with McGregor? You know, you're supposed to be fighting me. I would love to see that fight, Keith versus Floyd. And what up, Matt? What up, Steve?
What up, compa? But you come on, man. Like we both know that, like if Thurman, no matter what personality Thurman would have, he does not equal the money that Conor McGregor brings. And right now, unfortunately, Floyd Mayweather only cares about that check. He does not care about his legacy. We know that.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, but that's all I got. Good looking out, Boxing Voice.
Compa.
TV promotions, baby. What is it? Border Wars. Arre. Good looking out.
Thank you for all the love, brother, as always. Let's get out to Brad and Oxnard.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up, Brad?
One second, guys. 1 second. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. I'm here. Man, I never did mention, but I never got a first-time caller.
Uh-oh. Well, let's do it. You ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Standing 6'3", weighing at 220 pounds. It's Blind Man Brad. I may not be able to see you, but I could grab you and throw you and do a lot of nasty things to you. So, how's it going?
Brad,
awesome, Brad.
Pleasure to have you on, brother.
Yeah, I just calling back. Yeah, guys, man, I do agree it's a duck. I didn't go ahead and say that, but because I mean, I respect Manny Pacquiao, but when he pulls a card like this and just changes the whole thing, nah, man, it's definitely a duck. And people that talk to him, I'm sure listen to this podcast, because I know everybody that likes boxing should. It's definitely a duck. And Keith, one-time Thurman, definitely, if anyone deserves it, it's him. That's not even the thing, though. It's the belts, the publicity, everything's there. Why not? What in the world are you waiting for? If you're still fighting, what are you fighting for? I mean, you're really going to say you're making all the money off of Jeff Horn? You're going to make a big name for yourself? Oh, wait, you already have a big name. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I ain't calling up cussing, but I mean, it's enough said. That's some people don't need to do that to get their point across. But big ups to you guys, man. You guys are doing a great job. And I hated to see MD leave the call earlier, but that interview with Mikey was really cool. I really like what I would really like to see him with Adrian Broner. I pointed that out as a suggestion, but yeah, a lot of guys got behind that, man.
Yeah, I like that fight. You know, I like that fight.
absolutely, man. And yeah, I heard that one guy. Who the hell was saying that Jeff Horn is a good match or something? That guy, man, there's serious drugs his way or something, man. That was crazy.
Brad, thanks for calling in, brother. There's a ridiculous notion that Floyd didn't give Keith a shot and Keith called out Floyd. Let's keep in mind that Floyd is not an active fighter. Manny is the active fighter last time I checked, unless he's retired. Is he retired? Because he does have the WBO title, so he can't be retired.
No, he's not retired.
No, of course not. I'm just, for the idiots.
Mayweather held the titles for like 6 months before they vacated, even though he had actually said that he was retired.
Yeah, and remember when Mayweather vacated, Thurman got elevated. Thurman was only a interim champ or regular champ when Mayweather was around. So let's not forget that. Again, what we're arguing is exactly that. Thurman at that time had no type of resume, or like he had no he didn't do anything to merit it. But now it's different. Now he's a two belt division champion. So it's like he can call someone out, and especially another champion whose quest is supposed to be to unify. Oh my God, I'm repeating myself. You know what?
I have a quick question. Isn't Floyd still the emeritus WBC champ?
I have no clue, man. That is ridiculous. I don't know.
I know he was named that. I don't know if he is still that.
I doubt it, just because he's been inactive for 2 years.
Well, you never know, though.
2015 till 2017. All right, who we got next?
Iverson in Minnesota.
Iverson.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
What up? What's going on, bro?
Hello? Hey, man. Man, a lot of people are throwing shade at Manny Pacquiao, and I think Bob Arum decides his fights, man. To be honest with you, I don't really think all the blame should be on Pacquiao, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I had a question about the what's up with the Gary Russell Jr. fight, man? You got any information on that?
Versus Oscar Escaldón. Oscar Escaldón is hurt. They're rescheduled. They've rescheduled the undercard already, which was Charlo Hatley. That's Humberto Porter undercard in New York, but no word on Gary yet.
Man, wouldn't it be nice to see some people unifying the division in that weight class? I mean, look at all those good fights that can be made. Everyone else
but
has
the
a
difference
belt,
there,
there.
Hey. The difference there is there's no one there with two titles calling out another titleist.
No. I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying that there's good fights in that weight division that you could make. But as far as Keith Thurman, I'm from Florida originally. That's my favorite fighter. I would love to see it. I would like to see him fight that Jesse Vargas, because he could have picked up the belt there. He would have beat him, and then he would have had 3 belts. But Pacquiao got that belt. He should relinquish it if he's not going to defend it, And then he can fight Jeff Horn. And how did you guys get a picture of Jeff Horn? You can't even find that shit on Google.
Oh man, we actually got an Australian correspondent. If you go to our YouTube channel, we have a whole 24/7 series with him.
Man, I Google searched Jeff Horn and said no images available. So that should tell you something about who he is.
I hear you, bro.
All right, man. Well, thank you. Thanks for taking the call.
Iverson, brother, thank you for calling in. We do have other topics. I don't know if you want to touch on it. Miguel Cotto is trying to make a comeback. They're saying June 24th. And obviously, Terence Crawford has moved from the Prudential Center in New Jersey to Madison Square Garden now with Felix Diaz. And obviously, the sexiest fight of this weekend is Huck versus Briedis, cruiserweight division.
I saw the Terence Crawford. I think that'll be exciting to see him fighting outside of Nebraska for once. You know what I mean? See what kind of crowd he can pull now that he's not in his hometown.
And I love Miguel Cotto. It'll always be nice to see him fight. Who are they talking about? Marquez for him or what?
No opponent, but Bradley definitely threw his name in the hat. Iverson, you've been great. Thanks for calling in. We're going to Tuna out in Orange County. Talk to us.
Yeah, how you guys doing? I consider this a duck from Pacquiao, man. And it was a great interview by Mikey Garcia. Heard that earlier. Really wish I could have called. Well, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think Mikey should do next? Because I really didn't hear any of you guys on the video say what do you guys really want him to do.
Linares or Easter?
Keith Thurman. I know Ness really wants that Keith.
I didn't say Keith Thurman. I said
Linares or Easter. Give him Lomachenko, Thurman, Broner.
There it is. All right, thank you guys.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Tuna in Orange County. We're going to didn't Alonzo already called in, right? We got to Alonzo.
Yes, you did.
We did. We got to get to Raymond on Skype. Raymond Rocha, what's up?
Yo, what's up? It's Hurricane Ray in the building.
Oh, Hurricane Ray,
check this
what
out,
up?
man. Yeah, you gotta update me on that. Hey, listen, man.
I can't update your screen name.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yo, all right. First of all, Pacquiao is a WBO lineal champion, current lineal champion. He's fought everybody. He hasn't ducked anybody. You look at his resume, he has one of the best resumes in the sport right now. He doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't owe us any fights. I mean, we as boxing fans want to perceive like the boxers owe us something, but they don't. Pacquiao, if anybody deserves a soft fight or a cherry pick, it's him, man. He came back out of retirement, fought Jesse Vargas, fought Timothy Bradley, which are coming off of wins, all right? And if you look at his resume, he's always fought, most of them, he's always fought fighters that are coming off of wins. I don't know what Muhammad was talking about, but he's always fought fighters that are coming off of wins. I like that, though.
Jeff Horn coming off wins. He automatically gets the fight, huh?
Yo, Matt, you the hipster, man. You're supposed to know all of this. And I'm
beat Randall Bailey and Ali Funeka. Who the fuck are those guys? Randall Bailey's past his prime. Ali Funeka is a shit fighter. Come on, man. He hasn't beat anyone that I would deem as a good quality top 15 fighter.
Okay. Yo, I'm being hijacked. Give me another 30 seconds, Ness. Listen, man. Jeff Horn is a cherry pick. I'm not saying he's not. Is he ducking Keith Thurman? I don't think he is. I don't think he's ducking Keith Thurman.
Better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son.
Because I agree the two are not mutually exclusive.
You know who ducked Keith Thurman? You know who ducked Keith Thurman? Floyd Mayweather ducked Keith Thurman. He got elevated as super champ, and that way he didn't have to fight his man, which was Keith Thurman at the time. That's it. That's my call.
Oh, and by the way, Ali Funeka dropped Jeff Horn. Dropped him. Ali fucking Funeka. And you think Manny Pacquiao is a worthy fight? Not saying you, Raymond, but just saying overall people calling that are making excuses for this shit.
Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Pacquiao is ducking. Why is he ducking? Look, man, I don't know. That's how I see it, Matt. What could I say?
I know. We expect the best to fight the best, and we expect greats, legends, instant Hall of Famers like Manny Pacquiao to act like it.
Especially when you're being offered the opportunity to, I don't know, unify a division. But, Steve, you've not been around in a long time. I know you like to call it just a week. But for TBV days, it's more like a year. And
a week in TBV time is a lifetime.
Yeah, bro. And in that 1 week that's passed, they've cloned you Little Stevie.
Yeah, Matt was calling me that today. I was like, what the hell is this? When did I develop the nickname?
Yes, I so strongly am trying to keep your name alive. I'm calling you Superman Sugar.
Keep your name alive.
You know, but this guy has dubbed you Little Stevie, and
All right. Okay. It's time to start giving out the evidence then. All right. Everybody expect. The thing is like you guys are silly. You guys don't know how to promote because what you did was you guys all released all your shit at the same time. Why? No one knows who to watch. Now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have all the attention and everyone's gonna be looking at me like they should.
But then I can always just drop more shit, and just
you'll get tired. The only thing that's gonna be dropping is you, bro.
I am still
get tired. The only thing that's gonna be dropping is you.
I am still the bigger name. It's okay. It's okay that you're the B side and want to prove you're the A side. It's okay.
Yo, tell me how you're the one with a loss and yet you're the A side.
You're 0-0. You're 0-0. It's your pro debut, boy.
Pittsburgh Brew is saying that Matt is gonna baptize little Stevie. Coffins emojis after that.
Pittsburgh Brew, Bruce City, Bruce. What are you doing, man? You trying to lose another title? Is that what it is?
I know, bro.
Jeez. Let me tell you something, Bruce. You and me are boys. But you lost a belt once. Don't lose a bet again. Make the right call. You still got time. You're gonna lose. You're gonna be like Matt. Lose what's left of your dignity. Don't be that guy.
Yo, they said Matt sounds like Khan. Oh, Matt, that is hilarious.
Little Stevie's like Devin Alexander, like Chris Algieri. Like he'll give me a tough fight, but I'm still the A side. I'm still more elite. It's okay, Stevie. I know you want to prove yourself. I know you want to talk a lot of shit and hype up this fight, but June 6th, man, it's gonna be rough for you, brother. It's okay. We're gonna have some drinks after. We're gonna have a good time, but just put that on your eye. You know, you're gonna get a black eye, you get a nice cold beer on it. Don't worry, brother. We're gonna treat you right. There's a hospital nearby. Don't you worry.
I'll tell you something. This face has been unmarked for the last 10 years. You ain't gonna be the one to change that. You ain't gonna be the one to change that. That's 10 years. 10 years of pretty. 10 years of pretty. 10 years of pretty. What are you going on? Like 40 days? What are you going on? 40 days? Come on, man.
Taking pills, not sparring. It's okay, man. I won't do VADA testing. I won't do that because you know why?
Hey, Stevie.
Do all the steroids you want because you're gonna need it, motherfucker.
Yo, Steve, are you gonna be able to get sparring out there in SoCal?
Oh, I'm in NorCal. Yeah, I could definitely get some sparring. See, I got two. The way my regimen is, I do 2 rounds with a heavyweight just for my endurance, 2 rounds with someone my size to work on my skill, and 2 rounds with my girlfriend to adjust to Matt's power.
That was a good one. Even the clapping soundbite, because that was good. That was your best.
That was fucking good. He stole the show.
He did.
He stole the show from the Hunter.
And I'll steal the show June 6th. Don't you worry. I'll be the main event again. It's okay. Stevie's gonna get 0-1, you know, and on the 3rd fight on the card, and
then what? I have to ask you advice on how to deal with it because you're the only one who's been there. I gotta ask you advice on how to deal with it because you're the only one who's been there. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can ask me advice after you lose. It's okay. I'll tell you how to handle it.
Matt, you understand that this is a crossroads fight for you?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I just.
Because if I lose, I'm 0-2, and then no one's gonna take me seriously.
Hey, loser leaves Cali, Matt. Loser leaves Cali.
Loser leaves.
Yo, once you lose, you're gonna have to move to like North Dakota.
I know you guys better start increasing the level of sparring if you're gonna think you're gonna be Stevie. That left hook is gonna hit you to the body, bro.
I did sparring last night.
No, but you gotta increase the intensity.
I'm going to Jack Rabbit's gym tomorrow.
Somebody come at you.
Do some sit-ups.
Of world champions like Oscar Valdez, Jesse Magdaleno, you know, former contenders like Dominic Brazil.
Tell me why getting knocked out by all those guys is gonna prepare you. Tell me why getting knocked out by all those guys is gonna prepare you.
I ain't sparring them. Oh no, I ain't sparring those guys. Stupid. You know what? They're gonna help me out. I got 7 weeks of world champions, world level trainers going, hey, this is what you need to do. What do you have? Pills.
How many trainers is it gonna take to get you to take a shot? How many trainers does it take to help in that?
Trainers to get me ready. Trainers to get me the better. Because I'm always challenging myself. I ain't challenging
that many trainers, Matt. Why do you need that many trainers?
Myself in June 6th.
All I know is this, Matt. So far, the money's on you. Bottom line, you've already at least shown your heart. You got in there with a guy 4 or 5 divisions bigger than you. Stevie hasn't
put me down.
Anything. It's the truth what you're saying. He hasn't proven anything. All he's shown us is pills and protein shakes and meal supplements. Please.
And a shitty Instagram video.
It's because I gotta make the weight for Skinny Bone Jones over there, man. What can I do? I gotta make weight. We have a deal. I'm gonna get down to 160, right? This way, it's only a 30-pound weight disadvantage for you.
You can come in whatever weight you want, son. It's okay.
Damn, 160. How much you weigh now, bro?
How much you weigh?
Took the scales at 180 actually the other day.
Holy shit!
You
He's trying to lose 20. Yo, he's trying to come in.
I can see. I'll be able to walk around at 165.
Mario ripped on you, bro. He's coming in. Mario Barrios ripped on you, bro.
I'll make to 165, walk around, and I'll just dry out the last couple days. Don't trip.
Holy. He's coming in pro status on you, Holmes.
We're doing the day before weigh-ins, right?
Hey, I'll say this. He may be coming in like a pro, but I'm training like a pro. Big difference.
I don't know, man.
Pros go to sleep too.
He's gonna have some good dude, you getting down to 160. That's crazy. Listen, Border Wars TBV. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Catch my co-hosts at.
You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios, on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, etc. Peace. And if you want to see me sparring, go to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. If you want to get hyped on me beating up Lil Stevie on June 6th, make sure
you want to be in Match Corner. Head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/Border Wars and sign up. Maybe you could be in Match Corner. Maybe you could be in Stevie Corner. But 2 lucky listeners will be attending us at the TBV Unification Border Wars, where Canadian Jose will be taking on BoxingMD for all the marbles. And Enrique Church, a.k.a. the Casual Fan, taking on Mario Munguia, Mexico versus Puerto Rico, and the Hipster calling Superman Sugar Steve
Little Stevie.
And Little Stevie, he dubbed him as. Only on Patreon.
It's okay, though, because once I beat Little Stevie, it's going to be like one of those things where you beat somebody and you become best friends afterwards and you help him train. And, you know, because after
you think we're Rocky and you're Apollo. This is a Rocky Apollo, right?
No.
What you're saying is I'm gonna knock you out, and then you're gonna help me prepare to beat MD.
Did you not see the movie?
That's
Creed?
What you're saying. That's what he's saying. It's all making sense now.
Did you not see the movie Creed? I beat you in the 3rd matchup.
Wait a minute. Anna Marie Rivera. Hold on. Anna Marie Rivera. You want to know, is this only for guys as far as what? As far as signing up to be in the corner or being part of the card? Because we do have a woman that is looking for a fight. But
actually, I've seen several women in the chat ask if they can come to TBV Border Wars and partake in the raffle. Of course, 100%.
Yeah, women can partake in the raffle, but no one can just come. Only 2 lucky listeners. Listen, we got to go. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekends. Yada, yada, yada. Arrivederci. Did you guys give your social medias?
You can find me on Instagram at sugar_steve.c, and you can find me on Twitter, about to change it to the guy who slept Matt.
Yo, he got the killer one-liners on you all night.
Man. He reminds me of me back in the day. It's okay.
Ooh.
Oh, before the concussion that you're still dealing with.
What concussion? Was I knocked down? And there's no way you hit as hard as MD. No way.
It was not healthy.
Yo, he said there's no way you can hit as hard as MD. Oh, man.
I took his shots all day.
You're underestimating Matt.
I had a world champion, unified champion Keith Thurman saying, boy has a good chin.
Oh, man.
What can you do?
All right, I'm out. I got to eat. Even though I ate later. Bye.